Hello, everybody. What's up? It's a Friday night. Y'all don't ever see me at nighttime, huh? Chat is going great. I love it. So let me go through here and say hello to everybody, and then I'll kind of tell y'all what's been going on. We'll jump into these stories. Finally. What's up, Miranda? Good day, Tina. Hello, Nana. It's our first time in the stream. Welcome, Nana. So glad you could join us tonight. Shar the Great. Hello. Let me see. Who do we have here? Linking it up. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. I'm just trying to read down a little bit. I have a really good resource pinned at the top of the chat for parenting courses. This whole entire webpage is great. It's very good. Y'all should totally check it out. Let me see. Sea Turtle, hello. Good evening. Oh, good. I didn't know who it was, and I didn't want to say it out loud. And I had not heard of this story. Thank you so much for sending it to me. Absolutely, Sea Turtle. 100%. Let's see. Yeah, Marana got them links going. What's up? Oh, tried to say hello to a bot. Ugh. These damn bots, they're out of control. Okay, I blocked it. I think I got it. So this is what happened to me earlier. I had to get off the phone super fast. And yeah, y'all know at the beginning, those of y'all that caught earlier in the stream earlier, I removed it because it was like 16 minutes and we never jumped into the stories. But I had to go take care of some of my kids. But I was telling y'all about my son. He turned 18, yay. Well, he actually moved out. So I know earlier I was like, oh, but he didn't go anywhere. It was fine as a false alarm. Well, what happens when kids turn 18? They have the ability to leave, whether you're ready for them to go or not. So it's been an eventful day, and it just is what it is. I appreciate everybody, people I talk to behind the scenes, and the kind comments, and it just is what it is. That's it. When I left, when I was 18, I left very similar. So, what's up, Sapito? Sometimes they say you get your karma, right? I don't know. I just, I'm definitely going to, did somebody become a member? Or are you just saying in general? Thank you. Good day. I appreciate it. But, what was I going to say? You can only do what you can do. Hey, Steph May, welcome, baby. And, yeah. Hey, Brown's Mermaid. Yeah, good to see you too. But yeah, I was all over the map as usual. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, he's my third move out. My girls, I don't know. I didn't worry. I'm going to worry about him, different circumstances, nothing bad, he's just 18, want to go. So he's gone. So yeah. Thank you, Sea Turtle. Yeah, I was trying to, man. My husband was like, men don't get it a lot of times. They don't get it. I was like, for the 100th time, I don't expect you to understand. I truly don't. But to tell me what's wrong, I mean, you're not going to get it. I don't know. I wish I didn't get it, but it's just moms have it, Marana says I left at 16, but my parents knew well beforehand. Yeah. Well, and I guess, he wasn't like steadfast in anything. And it was kind of like, I guess, and we're thinking, it was nothing definite, but it just is what it is, wasn't no falling out on the floor crying. No, wasn't nothing like that. I had my little moment and that's it. Cecil says I cried for a few days while I had my daughter college. Oh yeah. Now, and I had to go. My oldest, she's already went and left. But yeah, I cried. That's the normal, but not that. I'm just going to say he left wrong. In my opinion, my worldly view, he left the wrong way. So of course it's going to be a difference of a feeling, right? So my girls, it wasn't like that, but you know, right, bottom line, end result's the same. Whether you leave the right way or the wrong way, you're leaving, right? So it is what it is, it's nothing I could do. I have one left in the house. So I know Miranda, yeah, Miranda says I moved a mile down the road. And literally he's 7 minutes from me. So it's not even, I mean, he's still in the county, same things, but yeah, I'm gonna worry. It is what it is. I mean, what do you do? Nothing. He's a boy. And apparently this is something, my husband totally identified with his feelings. He didn't agree with it necessarily, and he's got a long ways to go before he's where he needs to be, but it's the boy thing too. I don't get all that. So anyways, it is what it is, but that's what was going on. So yeah, we're back here tonight. So let's hop into these stories, but thank you. Good day. Thank you. Yeah, y'all just keep him in your prayers. Leaving the wrong way will end up bringing you closer. 100%. And that's exactly what my hubby said. He's like, it's going to be better for y'all's relationship eventually. Oh my goodness. Be still my heart. Chicago love. How are you doing? Oh God, Chicago. I'm telling you, he's my third to go. And wow. I mean, yeah, it's rough, it's rough. And like I said, the right and wrong way, but in my mind, like, I don't know what God's got set up for him, you know. Sometimes you got to bump your head to figure out, hey, it's not all it's cracked up to be. So that's it. It's so good to see you, Chicago love. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, if you need any help, resources, we're connected with the Facebook, or you just want to vent and cry and or whatever, yell in my voicemail. It's fine. It's fine. We can work through it together, right? Shar says her kids will spend the night with your mom, and I cry. Well, Shar, you're like mom of the year. You got tons of shit going on. Miranda too. Y'all are just good mamas. See, you only have one feel. No, yeah, it is different. Hey, Casey, welcome, baby. Casey, I need your email. I have the email for Olivia Fowler's aunt. She gave me her email. So I need to connect with you some type of way and get it to you. So yeah, absolutely. Welcome too. All right, guys, let's hop into these flipping stories for God forbid something else happen. Yeah, I mean, 16-minute video. I was like, I can't. What is that, Rich slogan? I can't do it to save my life. That's how I feel about the streaming. I was like 16 minutes in, right? And I get cut off, but it's all right. I wasn't really talking about much anyways. Yapping. Who yaps for 16 minutes? This girl, right? All right, let's hop in these crazy stories, man. In this one that we're going to talk about from Ohio, there's another Ohio story similar. Not exactly the same, but similar. Milena Davis. Those of y'all that have been with the channel for a while, you probably remember her. But she had a group of kids and boyfriend. I mean, it's an ex. I mean, it's just the whole scene. It's awful. Who's that? I can't see. Let me see real quick before I pull it up. Let's see. Hey, Ree, welcome, baby. Yeah, my day was, it's okay. Wasn't a wonderful day, but it was a successful day, right? Because I'm breathing your son's favorite verse on his stone, and we live by it. John 13:7. You may not understand now, but one day you will. Wow. That's such a beautiful, in your circumstances. That's such an amazing verse. Thank you for sharing that with me, Steph. Seriously, thank you. Hey, Nana, I said hey earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but welcome. I know it's your first one. Yes, and I do have something pulled up for Cody, and I have another one saved to my watch later. And I got some time today, so we may be able to pull it up. We may be able to pull it up. All right, so let's look at this. Which one did I want to look at first? Let me see. All right, so and this one I also got from this. I originally saw this from Chasing Truth. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. All right. Oh wait. Wrong one. Oh, hold on. We're gonna have to ease into that one, which I don't know. They're all bad, right? They're all bad. But I pulled up the wrong one. Let's see. Yeah, Malia Davis was an awful one, but they finally caught her murderer. Finally, it was an ex. She went to get something from a deceased relative that he had, and it cost her life. You know. Here we go. All right, so let's look into this one. And there is a Google Drive doc in the description of the man wanted in her murder, in Milena's murder. So please get it, download it, and share it. He is a killer on the loose. So let me see. All right.
I'm living now! My name is David Dobrik. My friends and I are on a world tour. Wow, dude. Every month, we're going to a new country.
In a second, I guess I'll be able to
This
cut
is
the
like out of a
volume
dream.
on. So, hold on.
Family devastated, heartbroken, prepared to lay a daughter, sister, mother to rest after an unthinkable murder.
What
Tonight, only on 19 News, we sit down with the parents of the young woman shot and killed by an ex-boyfriend.
Hold on, there's no sound for some reason.
Emotional interview tonight.
Let me see.
Good evening, Tiffany. It's been nearly a week since that killed. She had just been promoted at work, was nearly finished with school,
go down and see
loved
if
her
this
family,
one has volume,
only to die, her
videos.
parents say, at the hands of something.
That's weird. Don't have volume.
The perception of who we are is filtered through a lens of fear.
It's every day for all day.
That's the narrative. I felt threatened. I felt afraid.
In reality, we
wouldn't have muted the site. What the? Uh-oh. What did I do? Something else pulled up. Hold on. Here we go. Y'all bear with me. I don't know why there's no sound. But I can read the article. It ain't a big deal. What? Here, let's refresh it and see if that helps. Sorry, guys. I don't really know why it doesn't have any volume. I can't see the chat, so just give me a second. I'll refresh it and see if that helps. If not, we'll just move along and I'll read it. No big deal. I just like when you have parents speaking, I just think it's important to look. You know, you can feel the emotion visually. All right. Let's see.
2 out of 3 guys by the age of 35 start experiencing hair loss. I'm 35 next month. I'm already experiencing some hair loss, but I get to take care of that today here at the hair club. I had my first EXT treatment.
I see you're going bald at 35. Staff, I really can't help you.
Family devastated, heartbroken, prepared to lay a daughter, sister, mother to rest. Unthinkable murder.
That is super
Tonight,
weird.
only on 19 News, we sit down with the parents of the young woman shot and killed by an ex-boyfriend.
Maybe. I did need the site. Good grief. Hold on.
Good evening, Tiffany. It's been nearly a week.
Heartbroken, prepared to lay a daughter, sister, mother to rest after an unthinkable murder. Tonight, only on 19 News, we sit down with the parents of the young woman shot and killed by an ex-boyfriend. Michelle Nix live with the emotional interview tonight. Michelle.
Good evening, Tiffany. It's been nearly a week since that young woman was killed.
Does the sound good now?
She had just been promoted at work, was nearly finished with school, and loved her family, only to die, her parents say, at the hands of something so many try to escape: domestic violence.
Domestic violence is real. You know, a lot of people they don't like to talk about it, but it's real. We're living it, you know.
Jessica Mojica and Luis Alvarez devastated beyond words about the loss of their oldest child, Milena Lopez. The 24-year-old mother of 4 shot and killed in the parking lot of the McDonald's where she worked in Sheffield Village. Detectives suspect her ex-boyfriend, James Kimbrough, laid in wait and then shot and killed her.
We were concerned all the time, but sometimes victims get scared.
Her parents tell me even though their daughter tried not to show it, Lopez was concerned after filing at least 9 protection orders against Kimbrough since 2018.
I mean, she was worried every day.
But concerns about safety did not stop the
Are you a freaking kidding me? 9 orders? Paper doesn't work, but I mean, God, I mean, he didn't abide by it, but I don't know, man. I think at some point, if you have to pull so many, like, at what point does it not become criminal, right? Stalking harassment? I mean, if you have to get 9, right? Oh my God. Bless her parents' heart. And she's got 4 kids, if I'm not mistaken. 4 kids. It's just beyond sad, man. It is beyond sad.
The Lorraine woman from fighting to succeed in life. Lopez was concerned after filing at least 9 protection orders against Kimbrough since 2018.
I mean, she was worried every day.
But concerns about safety did not stop the Lorraine woman from fighting to
That's
succeed in
crazy,
life.
Nana.
Lopez was in school and had recently been promoted to general manager at McDonald's.
You'd be surprised, a 24-year-old. I mean, she loved to work. I mean, she wanted to provide her kids. Yeah. She wanted to provide for her kids everything they needed.
A smile, bravery, and strength, her parents say, often hiding the pain of what she was going through. Her dreams and lifetime shattered allegedly by a man Lopez desperately wanted to escape.
You never think you're going to bury your child.
Her parents now telling others facing domestic violence, fight like their daughter, because her strength is her legacy.
Fight for yourself, for your children, and get help. You know, don't let no one make you feel afraid of doing.
And then if she would have taken it into her own hands, she'd have been in jail for murder. Like, are you kidding me?
I want it bad. I want to see her smile.
Such a heartbreaking story. U.S. Marshals are still searching for murder suspect James Kimbrough as the family prepares to bury the Lorraine mother. Now, they will have the funeral services on Friday, but calling hours for friends and family will be tomorrow from 4 to 8 at Sacred Heart Chapel. And I was told by the parents that the victim's oldest children, 4 and 6 years old, have been asking to see their mother. They were able to do that privately tonight. Reporting live, Michelle Nix, 19 News.
Oh my God, that is awful. Oh, she was a sitting duck. Oh God. 9 orders? Well, let's look at this piece of shit. So anybody in Ohio, 9 orders, man. The babies wanted to see her. Oh God, man. This is awful. So like with Melinda Davis, sorry. She saw her ex, right? She saw him. She was getting some of her stuff, and they got in a fight at the house. And her car and her were gone. If we have time, if y'all want to, we could look up Melinda Davis. It's very close to the same area. It's very weird when I was looking into it. And some of the addresses where they think he may have run to, it was exact same place where Melinda, where it happened with her. So let's look at this. Here we go. And like I said, this Google Drive is in the description. Download it and share it. Let's see if I can zoom this up. All right, James Kimbrough, black male, 5'10", 180 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, could be in Ohio or on the run. If you have any information on this man, please call 866-492-6833 or 440-949-6155. Let me reread that number because I'm dyslexic and I read numbers backwards a lot of times. If you James Kimbrough, black male, 5 feet, 10 inches tall, 180 pounds. And let me say, he's not a real big dude. Brown hair, brown eyes, could be in Ohio or on the run. He is on the run. If you have any information on this man, please call 866-492-6833 or 440-949-6155. Let me hop back over here to y'all. All right, let me see. It's awful, man. Wow, that's awful. Let's see. Who's that? Thank you. Thank you, Miranda. Miranda is sharing in the chat. So this is the link to the Google Drive. Share it on your social medias, man, because he needs to come to justice. These babies need answers. The mom and dad need answers. And I got let me see. I've got another article. We have a crime victim assistance program. Listen, the safe houses that they have for women are really good. I know several people that have went to them. And listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm 42. I've been through some stuff. I ain't always been perfect, and I ain't always had a backbone. And sometimes you have to escape. I mean, you just do. Sometimes you have to escape. Let me see. I have a specific one. Maybe it's this. Let's see. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Oh, look at her mom. Like, she's been out there pounding the pavement, man. She has been pounding the pavement. Let me see. All right, it says Jessica Monica holds a photograph of her late daughter Milena in Lorena, February 12th, 2022. And there's Milena. There is the whole piece of shit that he is, James Kimbrough, 34, of Lorraine. $5,000 reward, which, you know, it's really not a lot. Whoa, wait a second. Let me see. Can we... Hold on. Let me save this and zoom up, because these are different pictures of him. Hold on. Let me... I want to zoom up on that one, because those are different pictures of him. Hold on. Let me make sure y'all are where I'm at. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let's zoom up at this picture and say, what's up, Cray Cray? Yeah, I know, right? Monday morning, I'm calling a damn yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Vivian. Hey, baby. How are you? Okay, let me share. Let's zoom this picture up. Let's see. Window. Here we go. All right. How are you doing, Miss Vivian? Okay. So here he is. I can't see the chat, but here's a picture of him. And it says, we need your help, James Kimbrough, a.k.a. Fam. Super creative street name. Still fugitive on the murder of Milena Lopez, assassinated January 6, 2020, outside of McDonald's in Sheffield Village, Ohio. Call anonymous if you have any information at 866-4-WANTED. A lot easier. 866-4-WANTED. All right, let me scroll down. Yeah. Because, see, this is the one that they're showing. This one up here in the top, that's a little, it's got a reflection on that. But, see, these are different pictures. God, like, this doesn't even look like the same person. I guess it does. Maybe it's the lighting. So, all right. Let me see. All right. Let me get back over here to y'all. All right. Okay. I can see y'all. Hold on. There we go. Oh, crap. What'd I do? Heck. Hold on. Oh. I'm back. Yes. I'm okay, Vivian. Thank you for asking. I'm okay. I'm a lot better. You know, I'm off the floor obsessively. That's what I do. Anybody else here, when you get mad, you clean? Am I the only one that does that? You can tell I don't get mad often. I kid. Yeah, but I was listening to me some little music, you know, just kind of, yeah. You'd be okay. Thank you for asking, Vivian. I really appreciate it. Let me see. What other one do I got? Let's see. All right, let's look at this article. All right. Let's see. Police search for person of interest. All right. It's probably more of the same, but let's just read it anyways. Sheffield Village police are investigating a shooting early January 6th that left a 24-year-old woman dead inside of her vehicle. Authorities did not release the woman's name by late afternoon. Okay, this might be an old one. Hold on. When did this one come out? I thought it was only a couple days ago I saw this come out. Hold on, let me just keep reading. January 9th. This is an old one. Okay. All right. Let me see. Yeah, what y'all think about Kim Porter getting 2 years? Yeah, I don't know, man. What an idiot. That's what I got to say to that one. Paramedics had tried to save the woman's life before she died from her injuries. Sheffield Mayor John Hunter said the shooting appeared to result from a domestic situation. This was not a random shooting. Police have a suspect. Everything points in one direction. Okay. Okay, this is just... okay, well, here's the investigator, Aaron Buber of... It's a weird name. Bobber, I guess is how you would say it. It's not 2 O's. Lieutenant Aaron Bobber of the Sheffield Village Police, 440-498-6155. Okay. Okay. Let me hop back over here to y'all. All right, let me go up here in the... Your husband cleans when he's mad. Casey, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is so funny. She is beautiful. You're absolutely right. He does look different in the photo. Yeah, that's why I wanted to show the other ones, because he does look different. Shout out to the safe houses. 100%, cray. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes you do have to escape. I mean, unfortunately, I've had to escape. So... not anymore. Now I just I don't even care. It just, if I go out, I go out. Thank God for change and growth, right? Making better decisions. But it seems to me like she did. 9 orders of protection, 9 restraining orders, right? It's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad. I'm a mad crier too. I'm a very mad crier. Yeah, I definitely. Sometimes you do that when you get mad and you crank up some loud music. Yeah. I don't have them over here. I guess, yeah, they're over there. My husband got me some beats for streaming, which I don't use for streaming, as you can tell. I have to mute constantly. But they're wonderful for just bouncing around the house. Talking on the phone is really good to drown out the noise. I have a lot of dogs. And I'm down to 1 kid now, so it's a lot less noisy. Go over the... Oh, yes. Good. Thank you. Miranda. I'm not supposed to call you Melinda. We don't even have a Melinda in the damn chat. Oh, we were talking about Melinda Davis earlier. Okay, let me see. How did you send that to me? It's a YouTube video. Okay, hold on. I know how to pull it up. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to pull it up now, Miranda. Thank you for reminding me. Y'all, check this one out. They found this little baby roaming the streets in Iowa. I'm going to pull up an actual news article. Let me see. Let me go back and see that name. What was it? Hold on. Let me see. Heck. Where was it? Dylan. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this one, we definitely need to get this one out. Here we go. Nonverbal. Okay, here we go. Y'all check this one out. This one's awful. Oh my God, this one's bad. Miranda sent me this one. Hey, Stacy. Hey, baby. You email me an update for Melena's case. Okay. Oh, perfect. I'll check it out in a second. I do have a more updated one. I think the one that we watched from the mother, but let me look at it here in a second. Let me show y'all this. He has been identified. Is he the child that's been missing? Yes, he is the... Let me see what I got. Let me pull this up. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what the title of the article says. But check this out anyways. This is wild. Like, why is this happening, right? Why is this happening? All right. Okay, update. Let's just read it. Coltrane Township Police said they have identified the boy, but they have not released his name or say if he has been reunited with family. They say they are continuing to investigate the incident. Okay. Let me see the original story. A little boy was found wandering Coltrane Township, and investigators want to find his family. He is nonverbal. Let's watch this.
Young boy is found wandering alone on a busy road in Coleraine Township. His parents nowhere to be found.
As David Winter reports, authorities have had the boy for nearly 24 hours, and police say this is a very unusual situation.
It's amazing the boy was not hit and killed. The cars barreling down Sheed Road in rural Coleraine Township regularly go better than 50 miles per hour. Luckily, some drivers that were passing by Gaines Road at about 9 o'clock last night slowed when they saw this little boy wandering on the shoulder. They stopped and called police. We tracked down the woman who replied to this Jobs and Family Services post, saying she was one of the people who stopped for the child. She says that she was concerned for the boy, so she waited for police to arrive. Coleraine police hung on to the child until about 1:30 this morning. They say usually someone will call them looking for their child. When that call never came, they turned him over to Jobs and Family Services. Here's a good look at him. Police estimate he's 5 to 7 years old. He was wearing sweats and athletic shoes. The scab on his nose is not fresh. One issue complicating things is the fact that he's nonverbal. JFS says they believe he might be autistic. He's currently being held at JFS offices while they wait for someone to claim him. We checked with the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. There is no child abandonment statute in Ohio. Under the Ohio Revised Code, a case like this would most likely fall under child endangering, which states no person who is the parent or guardian shall create a substantial risk to the health or safety of a child by violating a duty of care, protection, or support. Depending upon the severity of the violation, it could be a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail or a felony punishable by up to 8 years in prison. Of course, it would be much preferred if this turns out to be a big misunderstanding and loving and caring parents of this young boy show up to claim him. In Coleraine Township, David Winter, Local 12 News.
All right, look
And
at
if you
this.
know anything about this boy,
Look at
or
this.
his
They have
parents that you
identified
feel
him. Let me
might
cut
be
this off.
useful, Coleraine police are asking that you contact them.
Y'all look at this. Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up. I didn't even pull it up. Okay. Wow. They do look alike. It's a little creepy. Oh goodness. One of my subscribers, she sent me this crazy story too. I don't think I'm gonna have time to talk about it today. But definitely gonna look into it. It's wild. It was like her aunt. She was missing, but she was actually in an old folks home or something. It was crazy. I have to look into it. I didn't dive in. I just kind of like skimmed through it. Okay, let me see. Y'all look at this. So y'all just seen the little boy. Let's see. Let's look at this.
Walking on the water. 911, what's your emergency?
I'm just going to mute this for a second. I don't really... What's this? A new series? Oh my goodness. Prayers for Peter Mon. He's a... I don't know. You know, I literally look at everything on YouTube. Everything. But Peter Mon, he is like a Jeffree Star. Somebody like that. Like he covers people in that community. He was in a really bad wreck. So prayers for him and his family. I don't know if I can watch this one. We'll watch some of it. It's 12 minutes, and sometimes they'll hit you with content, whatever.
And a desperate search begins.
I'd do anything to get that time back. Anything. You didn't expect people to reach out like they have been.
But soon, suspicion turns to the grieving family.
It felt as if everybody just, turned on me.
There were pieces in the story that I'd be a little concerned about.
Did you have anything?
Do y'all think he looks like the boy we just saw?
Here is Avery Haynes.
Welcome to W5. If you've ever lost sight of your child, even for just a fraction of a second, you know the terror that sets in. Now imagine living with that feeling for a year and a half. Tonight, a 1-hour special into the disappearance of a 3-year-old boy in Truro, Nova Scotia. How the mystery has fractured a family, divided a community.
Where did you send it, Miranda?
About the way the case was investigated.
Earlier, never mind. I got it. Hold on.
It's the relentless search for clues, any shred of evidence.
So I think the plan today is we're gonna check this entire area in case we miss anything.
It's the wide-awake nightmare of losing a child.
He said, Dylan's missing. And I said, what?
And the whole world fell apart right there. I hit the ground, started crying.
It's the anguish of not knowing.
We don't know if he was taken.
Hey, Kim, welcome, baby. Yes, this boy that we're looking at now
don't know if
is
he's
missing.
alive. We're stuck in limbo.
Ashley and Jason have been in that limbo since May 6th, 2020.
Tonight, still no sign of Dylan. The heartbreaking search for a missing 3-year-old boy.
How's everybody making out?
Pretty good now, Dad.
The day of this search marks 16 excruciating months since 3-year-old Dylan Ehler vanished.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Gone almost without a trace in Truro, Nova Scotia.
It feels like day one over and over and over. I just want him to come home.
Official search and rescue missions have long been abandoned.
There we go.
But since he's vanished, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, Dylan's dad, Jason, and a small group of volunteers have been desperately searching and hoping.
The only time I feel at peace is when I'm searching for him. I can breathe. When I'm not, I can't breathe.
Dylan's mother, Ashley, is living a life suspended in time.
When I walk through this house, I see signs of Dylan everywhere. His job chart, his photographs, his drawings.
It keeps him present here. It keeps him with us so that we can feel him. Sorry, that was a very emotional question. It means everything to us to have his stuff here and be surrounded by him. It's just here waiting for him to come home.
Can I ask about these presents in the corner?
We'll go right back to this. I'm going to show y'all something.
Christmas presents. Birthday presents.
Let me show y'all this side by side. I had to resend it. Oh my, what? Did not the Russian bots take a damn break? Ugh, they don't rest? Let me see. Okay. Okay, so this is a side by side. Let me get back to y'all. What y'all think? That's a little wild, ain't it? It's a little wild. But yeah, that's what, yeah. This mom is stuck in the same panic ever since the day he disappeared. So what y'all think? They do. I mean, I could totally see. And there was some different pictures of Dylan that they really look alike. Hey, Justice. Hey, lady, not used to seeing you. Yeah, I know. I don't really. Yeah, it's my hubby's out of town. So this is the cats playing, right? As they say. Yeah, the eyes do look the same. I mean, let me see. Let me go zoom it up. Let me see. Can you even zoom on Facebook? I'm scared to do anything. I'm liable to dox myself and all my people, but I mean, I'm not hard to find. But why is it not zooming? How can I not zoom? I don't know. It's not letting me. Hold on. What? Wait, why is it not letting me? I can normally zoom. I don't know. Y'all about to see some real stuff. Hey, y'all want to see a picture of me and my honey real quick? This is me. Oh, look at me and my honey. Let me get out of here. Oh, I love him so much. Okay, let me get back over here to y'all. Let's see. Yeah, you seen the other day vids of Dylan really look alike. Let's see. Yeah. Could be has some money contact. Yeah, I don't. Oh God, I would kind of even hate to contact the parents and get their hopes up, right? You know. Wow. I know, Casey. I love him so much. He's my baby. And let me tell you something. Not that y'all give any fucks at all, but in the sunlight, my hubby has the most beautiful blue eyes ever. Like, it'll make you look at him and be like, ugh, why you look so good? You beautiful blue eyes. Anyways, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. All right, let's get back to this video. But I do think that they do absolutely favor 100%. Sad. I bet if his parents did find out Dylan's family, I mean, it probably would send them into a frenzy, right? But if you don't contact him and it's him, yeah, I don't know. I mean, surely, I don't know. I can totally get the lieutenants and just forward the information to the tip line 100%, right? We can totally do that. Yeah. So this one is out of what? Let me see. Let me look at this story. I'm going to go back a little bit because I was distracted. Okay, here we Wow, they do. That's kind of crazy. That's really crazy.
It keeps him present here. It keeps him with us so that we can feel him. Sorry, that was a very emotional question.
Very true. He's nonverbal.
It means everything to us to have his stuff here and
yeah, because but I mean, depending on what he's been through, you know what I mean?
It's just here waiting for him to come home.
No, Miranda, Dylan was not nonverbal.
Presents in the corner.
He was normal to all.
Those are all Dylan's
degree.
Christmas presents. Birthday presents. And my presents, because I won't open a present again until he's found. Dylan's still missing. There's no God. I've prayed so many times that there's just nothing.
Ashley and Jason have been praying for Dylan to come home since that day in May of 2020.
Absolutely, Casey. Yeah, totally. Depending on where he
for a visit,
what he's been through.
I gave him a hug.
Nova Scotia to Ohio.
Good. I loved him.
I agree, Kim.
Dylan was at his grandmother's residence on Queen Street playing outside. His grandmother became briefly distracted and turned around for a moment. And when she turned back, Dylan was no longer in the yard.
So many what ifs, woulda, shoulda, couldas, and that'll probably be with me the rest of my life.
Dorothy Parsons is Ashley's mother, Dylan's grandma.
On that last day when you were with Dylan, what was he like?
He was a very happy little boy that day. Very happy.
Miranda says 21 hours and 21 minutes apart.
And I'll never forget that.
Makes you think, man.
Smile. I'd do anything to get that time back. Anything.
This is the last
place
where
Dylan's hair does look darker.
Can you walk me
I
through
agree with you, Cray.
what happened on the day Dylan disappeared?
I decided to bring him outside to play. So we come over to here, and I just kind of get the dog, and I got her chain. And then after I got her hooked up, I turned around, and he's nowhere.
How long has he been missing, y'all? Steph, I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to say
the neighbor's backyard. Search and rescue crews battled high waters and raging currents before making a discovery.
Let me say this too. People should watch their kids 100%. Let me tell you something though. Since I have been covering these cases, or I've had the channel for, going on 2 years, we have 21 acres. And I'm telling you, and before, we even move where we're at now, I'm telling you, I look at things a little bit differently. And I want him right in front of my door. You know how sad it is? We have 21 acres. We have 2 ponds. He can't even think about going to the pond without somebody with him, which he shouldn't. He's 7. But at the same time, y'all see what I'm saying? Things happen so fast in the blink of an eye. And of course, people should watch their kids, but I'm telling you, it makes you think. Kids go missing like in the strangest of ways. So this is one of my biggest fears, 100%. You know, and you do look crazy. Look at what's happening to the wells. Look, which Dior, I don't know. Dior's a little. I got my own thoughts about Dior, but truthfully, police never found anything, right? So, but yeah, even on your own property, it's just it's awful. But anyways, let me get back to this. I just want to share that.
Her hooked up, I turned around and he's nowhere.
The police immediately focused on a brook behind her neighbor's backyard. Search and rescue crews battled high waters and raging currents before making a discovery that evening. Dylan's rubber boots.
One was found in the brook, in Leper Brook, probably closer to the property that the family owns. And then one was found further down the brook.
When the chief came in, he had a picture of boots on his phone. And when I see them,
Oh yes, Stacy, he
knew
does not
they
go
were
in the
his.
bathroom by himself. I don't allow it. I agree with you.
And that was it. I started bawling and knew that they were Dylan's boots.
Was it like this when Dylan went missing?
No, it was nothing like this.
The grass is much higher, the water much lower than it was the day Dylan disappeared. Oh, so the creek is right here.
Yeah, the creek's right here, the brook, Leopard's Brook.
Jason leads us to the exact spot where the boots were found. So one boot was found here. Mm-hmm. Where was the other one found in relation to where we are now?
The other one was actually maybe 500 meters down the brook, and it was emerged underwater also, but it never made it to the river.
So this feeds into Salmon River?
Yes, correct.
And then what happens with Salmon
I'm
River?
gonna show y'all the distance. Hold on, I'm gonna pause
feeds
this.
into the Bay of Fundy and then into the Atlantic.
Let me show y'all what I just pulled up, what Miranda just sent me. Let me pull it up. Let me see. Hold on. So this is the distance. Hold on. I'll share screen and I'll share a different screen in just a second. Let me see. Wow, heck. Here, let me let it play on. Gotta crop it. I don't want to dox my friend.
The police were working on a theory early that Dylan bolted from his grandmother's house towards this brook, that his body was swept down to the Salmon River and out to the Bay of Fundy. A mannequin the same weight and height as Dylan was used to see if it was possible for a boy his size to be pulled down the creek and out to sea. But by then, the water levels had dropped significantly, and the mannequin didn't float freely without getting caught in debris.
They tried it, must have been half a dozen times.
What does that tell you?
Tells me the brook didn't have enough power to push out some boots, but it pushed a 32-pound child out. Nothing makes sense. The science doesn't even make sense to it.
The official search lasted 6 days before being called off.
My dreams are horrible. My dreams are nightmares. Every dream I have, I'm searching and I find them, but I can't get to them. I just see him from behind. So I just never get to him. It's like day one, all I want to do is pick him up, take him to my house.
What do you think? You like it?
The mystery of what happened to Dylan has consumed his parents and the small town of Truro, population 12,000. In the early days, the community rallied around Jason and Ashley, leaving.
All right, hold on. Let me show y'all the distance. Okay. Give me 1 second. I know my camera's up. I couldn't. These bots ain't got a damn thing to do they? They're just out there doing what they want to do. These bots are out on the Friday night on the prowl. Okay, let me see. Yeah. What is my... Okay, here we go. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Hold on. Let me share my whole screen. Let me see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's share the entire screen and let me show y'all this. All right. Where did I have it pulled up at? Hold on. No. No. Crap. Let me see. You know what? What is going on? Here we go. I hope this is what I think it is. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So here's the distance from Nova Scotia. So 21 hours and 21 minutes. So there it is. So there it is. So, okay. Now let me get back to y'all. Thank you, Miranda. All right. So let me get back to the video. Share screen. I guess they just disappear when somebody isn't washing them. That's the way it seems, right? They just vanish into thin air. You know, man, if I didn't know any better, I would say God was taking the kids first. It's freaking awful what is going on. Let me see. All right. Yep, it is a straight shot.
Boots out on their front porches, creating a memorial with Dylan's favorite toys and blankets, volunteering for searches. This is Ashley 1 week after her son disappeared.
Yeah, they're probably not the same,
to
you
reach
know,
out like they have been.
but it is
Small
wild.
comfort that people are out there helping and, want to bring him home as much as we do.
The days and weeks dragged on without any signs, any clues.
That
beyond
picture
those
of him in the
rubber
red
boots.
shirt.
1 month after the disappearance, Jason and Ashley announced a crowdfunded $10,000 reward in the event that Dylan had been abducted.
Please bring him home because I need him.
We miss him.
He's everything.
But soon after, the tide of support for Ashley and Jason whiplashed from sympathy to suspicion.
Y'all didn't hear me. It always does.
To sat up all night and rehearsed what we were going to say, and I just think that I should be crying more. And then when we do cry, it's crocodile tears.
Public scrutiny intensified after word got out that
We've been
all was
hearing
not
that
right
term
in
kicked
the
around,
Ehler
right?
home.
Crocodile
But 4
tears
days
with
before
Candace.
Dylan vanished,
So fucking
police had been
unfair.
called.
After I got laid off from work for COVID reasons, all of us were in the house together, and it got stressful.
Here's the link for what we're watching
and
now.
It just escalated, and then the police were called.
Or Dylan vanished, police had been called.
After I got laid off from work for COVID reasons, all of us were in the house together, and it got stressful. We were arguing, and it just escalated, and then the police were called.
I threatened her. I said, I'm going to kill you. I didn't mean it. It was just out of anger.
And you were both charged with domestic violence?
Yes.
And why was Ashley charged?
Because she punched me.
That was enough for online sleuths to start combing into Jason and Ashley's past. And then they believed they hit pay dirt.
You ever just look at somebody and think to yourself, this mother gonna be the reason I go to jail?
So
This is a
similar
TikTok
to,
video
wow.
Ashley made
This
and
is crazy,
posted
the
just
parallels.
weeks before Dylan disappeared.
It was, I believe, from the show The Tiger King. Dylan was on my lap during that video, and people ran with it and thought that it was inappropriate.
And they found a second strange video on social media as well.
Huh?
Come on, we can't delay. What did you do? No one can see him on the floor. Get him out the door before he can decay.
The second video was a parody song.
I did not
of
know all
Frozen.
this.
Was a parody of Will You Help Me Build a Snowman? And it was Will You Help Me Hide a Body?
I need to
What
ask you
the?
straight out.
Wow.
Did you have
Oh,
anything to do with the
wow.
disappearance of your son?
No. No. I love my son.
Dude,
more
this
than
is
anything.
heartbreaking. I'm going to rewind that if y'all don't mind. I want it. It's so important to me. People hear this.
Coming up,
They never treated Dylan's case like a criminal investigation.
frustration with police procedure.
They can see him on the floor. Get him out the door before he...
I just think that I should be
Flashed from sympathy to suspicion.
There are people that were saying that, you know, we must have sat up all night and rehearsed what we were going to say. And, you know, I just think that I should be crying more. And then when we do cry, you know, it's crocodile tears.
Public scrutiny intensified after word got out that all was not right in the Ehler home. That 4 days before Dylan vanished, police had been called.
After I got laid off from work for COVID reasons, you know, all of us were in the house together, and it got stressful. You know, we were arguing and it just escalated, and then the police were called.
I threatened her. I said, I'm going to kill you. I didn't mean it. It was just out of anger.
And you were both charged with domestic violence?
Yes,
And why was Ashley charged?
because she punched me.
That was enough for Online sleuths
Families
to start
aren't
plumbing
perfect.
into Jason and Ashley's past. And then they believed they hit pay dirt.
You ever just look at somebody and think to yourself, this mother gonna be the reason I go to jail?
This is a TikTok video Ashley made and posted just weeks before Dylan disappeared.
It was, I believe, from the show The Tiger King. Dylan was on my lap during that video, and people ran with it and thought that it was inappropriate.
And they found a second strange video on social media as well.
Huh? Come on, we can't delay. What did you do? No one can see him on the floor. Get him out the door before he can decay.
The second video was a parody song of Frozen. Was a parody of Will You Help Me
That
Build a
is
Snowman?
rough.
And it was Will You Help Me Hide a Body?
Wow.
I need to ask you straight out. Did you have anything to do with the disappearance of your son?
No. No. I love my son more than anything.
Coming up,
They never treated Dylan's case like a criminal investigation.
frustration with police procedure.
They waited 3 hours before issuing an alert that a 3-year-old was missing.
Streaming.
I'm gonna try to find the second part of that. I'm all in now. I did not know all this. I'm gonna fair to say I have never really looked at this case. The parallels are so crazy to and listen, of course it's in poor taste, right? Of course you don't put your kid on your lap and you know say foul language and all that, you know. Does it equate to murder? Does it equate to, you know, something, you doing something with your kids or lying or any of that? All this generational bondage, digging into their past. What if their parents did that with them? I would fair to say that there's probably at least 1 or 2 people just within the little 20 people on this chat, right, that know a family who let their kids cuss, let their kids probably do stuff we would never do, right? But you've also probably seen traits where they love their kid. I'm telling you, we have friends of ours, and I'm telling you, they're rough. They are rough, right? And they do a lot of stuff that I would probably never do around my kids. But they love their children. And when you are raised in an environment, and your parents were raised in that environment, and your parents' parents were raised in that environment, at what point, if you don't know, you don't know, right? If it's all around you and everybody where you grow up is doing the same thing, of course it's wrong. But does it mean murder? Does it mean that you're beating your kids? No, it doesn't. Abuse comes in all different forms. But physically, it doesn't, you know what I mean? I'm not agreeing with any of this. Of course, it was highly inappropriate her to make that video with her kid. I mean, are you kidding me? That doesn't mean she did something to her kid, okay? And me out here being the judge and jury of whatever is not helping anything. And you got hundreds of people attacking you, you know? And Candace did the one video with her boys, with them in the video. I can't remember, but y'all first remember when Summer went missing, like all the TikToks were out there, right? I mean, like all the TikToks. We're so far away from it now. So much has happened in the past 8 months. It's wild. Let me try to find the second part of this video because I'm all in now. I'm all in. Let me see. Let me see. Wow, that's crazy. Look at this picture and the one that we just looked at, though. Isn't that wild? I mean, they do favor. This picture they favor, I think. But his hair is darker. People just don't get how their words are powerful. 100%. My son died. My son was never missing. He died from an accident. I heard a lot of crap. And I had a lot of people say the worst things to me. It's somehow okay to judge. Right. Right. You know? And listen, it's, you know, like as if it's your fault he had an accident. You know, like people are getting attacked for a lot less. You know, it's become trendy. Like people just can't shut the hell up, right? Like you have to speak. You have to be heard. You have to. No, shut up. I mean, it's too much a lot of times. I'm going to find the rest of this. Let me see. I want to find the second half to this. Because that one was only... Let me see. I don't know. Oh. Right here on the side where it says part 1, 2, and 3. That would probably be a good place to start, huh, guys? Me, right here. You're fearless.
Streaming now on ctv.ca.
The kids are old enough to start making memories. Important stuff they're going to remember for the rest of their lives.
Until the day is over.
That's awful loud, dramatic music, right? Awful loud. All right, let's get back over here. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. Making my day go by.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Not long after 3-year-old Dylan Ehler disappeared in Truro, Nova Scotia.
That video, man, he did look similar.
Strange
Crazy.
TikTok videos featuring his mother surfaced.
You ever just look at somebody?
Steph, if you want to at any time, tell the chat who you are. You're more than welcome to. It's your story to tell.
Posted a couple of weeks
but a lot of them
before the
are
toddler
familiar
vanished in
with
May
your
of
story.
2020.
They
It
just
sent
don't
the
realize
rumor
it.
mill into overdrive. Fueled by the allegations of domestic violence and the fact that little evidence had been found.
I'm probably
dozens
going
of
to open
groups
panel
started
up here in a
popping up,
second, too.
all posting theories wilder than the last.
Ashley and Jason just had a fight only a few days before. Then all of a sudden, Dylan goes missing. Sounds too much of a coincidence and fishy for her not to be put in the hot seat.
You are a disgusting bitch. I hope you get it in jail. Making TikToks with your son and saying that type of thing? What kind of mother are you?
Those videos, when people look at them after your son has disappeared, you can understand how they might think, well,
hey, VN,
these
welcome.
are bizarre things to post about her son.
I can see after the fact how people could think that.
Nana says that there are Ehlers
But
living
on
in
the other
Ohio.
side of
Very
it,
interesting.
there's also been, you know, thousands of other people doing the exact same one.
I'll tell who you are in a second after
with their
this one,
kids in the
Steph.
videos.
You went from grieving mother that everyone was trying to support to murder suspect in the eyes of amateur sleuths and the people in your neighborhood.
It felt as if like everybody just, you know, turned on me, and you know, all because of a few TikTok videos that meant
Of
nothing.
course, Steph.
And I don't understand it. I might have some things in my history that you don't like, but that absolutely doesn't make me a monster.
When Truro police caught wind of the videos, they had a new interest in Ashley.
When you saw Ashley's TikToks, when
Yes.
they surfaced.
Hold on. I want to
did
pause
that
this. I want to say
tweak
something
in
too.
you?
Before this officer talks, let me say something. Let me make sure I'm not muted. Okay. You know what? And this officer, he's saying point blank, well, this is where the tide started to shift a little bit for me, right? Do you know how much better the all the sleuthing and all the, you know, hatred could get for the Wells family if they could just come out and just be flipping honest, not say what's going on, not tell sensitive information, but say, hey, we don't feel like they're involved. So it does create people looking at them and feeling bad for them. It is the opposite thing of what people think it's going to do, right? But you know, saying they're cooperating. The one thing that was said very, very early on, missing has to be the worst. I agree with that, because you just don't know, right? Like, you just don't know. It would be one, like, if Lawson could just, well, let's see, Earhart, the TBI director, she said, and the one thing she said a couple times over, don't have clear clarification on exactly the circumstances that led up to her disappearance. To me, that speaks volumes, right? But that was week 1, week 2, right? We are approaching the 8th month, or we are at the 8th month. Yes, we are at the 8th month. Past it, the 15th. As a matter of fact, it was the same day as my son's birthday, on the 15th. So, can't you just say where you're at with it? You know, I mean, you don't have to say, you know, you can say something better than nothing. Like, their silence, and I don't know if they're trying to drive the Wells crazy, if they're trying to keep heat. You know, they say they're cooperating, and to me, they seem to go to the defense of the Wells, right? In a lot of ways. They ask for the online stuff to stop, but yet they don't, you know, they just like, you know, like dangling carrots and shit. I mean, it's insane. I just, like, come on, say something. Oh, we're still looking for Summer. No shit. No shit. But the family is tanking faster than the generational bondage is taking them out, right? I don't know, man. It's just, and I've seen even in Bakersville with the Cal City boys, that chief come out and said something, even though he's not my favorite, and I'm glad he's not on the case anymore. But, you know, there's I don't know, man. But there is a part of me that feels like they really don't have a clue, because with Megan Boswell, they come out off the rip. They arrested her ass for lying immediately. TBI, same thing with Joe Clyde Daniels. They were vocal about how they felt about the family. It's the exact same organizations handling the Summer Wells case that handled Joe Clyde, that handled Evelyn Boswell. So why the silence? Like, what the hell? You know, I think they really don't know, you know, but, you know, nobody's sitting around paying me to fucking think, right? You know, and dumb hick behind a computer. So I don't know. That's just some of my thoughts. Let's get back to this video.
In terms of the criminal investigation?
Yeah, I mean, that was a bizarre TikTok, let's say, and just at a bad time. So that was fully investigated as well.
Dave McNeil is the chief of the Truro Police Department.
Exactly, Steph.
Actually, in all my career, take on a life.
What up, True Helper? We're going to open panel here in a little
Police
bit.
made
Welcome,
it clear
honey.
at the time that they didn't believe the TikToks or the domestic violence charges had anything to do with Dylan's disappearance. But that didn't stop the accusations.
His mother and grandmother have killed him. They are known Satan worshippers. This was a sacrificial ritual on the full moon to
Satan, which is why the mother doesn't seem as remorseful as we'd expect. She believes she did a good thing.
I can't keep up with everything, Miranda. I don't think I heard that.
Halifax lawyer Allison Harris has compiled pages and pages of vicious rumors that Ashley and Jason were negligent, or worse, murderers.
Ashley talked about being afraid to go to the grocery store. I know that some of their family members would be yelled baby killer as they walked down the road.
What was that meeting like? They came to you and said, look what they're doing to us online. They're accusing us of killing our baby.
I just knew when I walked away that I was going to find a way to help them.
Allison Harris combed through the law books and formulated a plan. She would try to shut down the online groups with Nova Scotia's rarely used anti-cyberbullying law. Groundbreaking legislation.
This is about Dylan Either. He's out of Nova Scotia, Canada.
2013, after being bullied online. Harris targeted what she felt was one of the nastier groups, a Facebook site that had 17,000 members.
The people behind the Facebook group that you targeted aren't strangers behind a keyboard.
That's almost the more upsetting part, realizing that these people who, were strangers to Ashley and Jason, didn't know them before this, but are actually members of the community. Some of them actually were showing up with searches.
Sound a little familiar.
The tragic thing in all of this is that the most salient part of this story, the disappearance of a 3-year-old boy, seems to be lost.
Yeah, really has. That's what I find the saddest part about this story. And that's really all Jason and Ashley wanted to focus on.
Ding, 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 ding. All this is sounding so stinking familiar.
The parents of a toddler who disappeared last spring are taking their fight against cyberbullying.
Stacey said they got sued in civil court
and
won.
More than a year after Dylan went missing, a victory in the courts.
You won.
Essentially, yes.
The administrators of the Facebook page were ordered to shut it down. But by then, the damage had been done. Dylan's memorial was destroyed after rumors surfaced that he might have been buried there. And phony ransom demands started pouring in.
Well, we've had about 7 or 8 ransoms.
Were people actually trying to connect with you and say, we have your son?
Oh, that they're going to kill my son if we don't give them so much money. A guy sent a picture of, I think it was a picture of maybe.
Thank you so much for your super, I always want to say sticker. There should be laws holding that much hate accountable for the pain they cause. Apologies won't make it better. No, they will not. No, they will not make it better. And, and then when you do have people step out and speak out about it, oh, well, now we're going to take you to court because now you can't even call out the bad behavior because, having an opinion on the internet is so frowned upon. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's very true, and it's kind of like the channel that I have, I'm automatically lumped in with the crazies. We all are, anybody that covers this type of stuff. Now you're the bad guy. Literally not going into it. I don't even care. It's already over with. But I literally had somebody making videos about me and said, I make thousands and thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. Where most of my videos are demonetized immediately, and it's just, I don't even pull checks most months, but it doesn't matter. I'm automatically lumped in just because I'm speaking about awareness for kids, talking about parenting classes and school shootings and, children's rights in general, they go overlooked, but these parents, they have rights too, it's insane, but yeah.
Be Dylan, but it was all Photoshop and looked like
surfaced that he might have been buried there, and phony ransom demands started pouring in.
Well, we've had about 7 or 8 ransoms.
Were people actually trying to connect with you and say, we have your son?
Oh, that they're going to kill my son if we don't give them so much money. A guy sent a picture of, I think it was a picture of maybe Dylan, but it was all Photoshop and looked like he had bruises on his face and stuff. And he wanted 3 Bitcoin, which is worth $40-some thousand, untraceable money. There was another one where he said he had Dylan in the truck and he tossed him out the window doing 100 kilometers if I didn't send him a couple $1,000s.
Police were never able to track down the people behind those ransom demands. And their investigation into Dylan's disappearance
I don't think we've had any
questioning
of that in the
everyone
Wells
in the
case.
little boy's circle, including the last person to see him that day in May of 2020. Grandmother Dorothy Parsons was asked by police to recreate the final moments before he disappeared.
This process of hooking up the dog, turning your back on Dylan, how long did that take?
Seconds. Like we redid it with the police, and he said he timed it at about 18 seconds.
18 seconds, you didn't have your eyes on Dylan, and he was gone.
Yeah.
In that time, Dylan would have had to run at least 81 meters between the fence, across a neighbor's backyard, and through brush to get down to the brook.
Once they found out how much Dylan likes water, they went with that, stuck with that, wouldn't even entertain any other scenario whatsoever, even though I'm...
Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all feel like that maybe that's what they've done with the Wells? Is they seem off. There's all this, I mean, come on, let's face it. There's abuse. There's all the things, right? Not necessarily child abuse, but at least amongst Dawn and Candace, generational stuff, the essay, all of it, right? Do y'all think that maybe the police are just kind of like waiting on the chips to fall where they may? I do think that sometimes. I'm not saying they're not doing their job necessarily, but just like, for instance, what was it? 8 days before they did roadblocks and started, vetting people out. I mean, you gotta wonder, right? At least for me, I gotta wonder.
I'm telling them that I think he was taken.
You told the police that right off the bat?
Yeah, I did. And I said it 3 or 4 times. I think he was taken.
While Dorothy believes Dylan was snatched, her own daughter and Jason think she's holding back vital information about what happened that day.
Did your dog get away?
Absolutely, Steph.
Put your dog inside. Did you make a mistake and you're just not saying it? I just know something's wrong. I've felt it since day one.
Jason and Ashley both feel as though there's just something missing and that you're not sharing it because you're scared.
Yeah, good point, True Helper.
Criminally with neglect.
There's nothing that's a secret. Even I know there's something not right. There's a puzzle piece missing.
And you don't have the piece of that puzzle.
And I don't have it. I don't have that piece.
According to Dorothy, she took 3 different lie detector tests. She says her version of events has never wavered.
Are you responsible for your grandson's disappearance?
Just watch your P's and Q's, True Helper.
In my mind, yes. Reality, price.
According to Dorothy, she took 3 different lie detector tests. She says her version of events has never wavered.
Are you responsible for your grandson's disappearance?
In my mind, yes. Reality, probably yes. Because he was with me and I turned my back. So I'll always feel responsible.
God, my worst fear, I swear, dude.
Like, I'm just sorry that I even brought him outside.
It's kind of like Dior's in a way.
And if I could get those 18 seconds back.
You call your mom Dorothy.
I do.
Why?
After my son went missing, I can't look at her. I can't speak to her. I don't want her in my life.
What do y'all think about that?
I don't consider her a mother anymore.
This has ripped your life apart in every way.
It really has.
This
See,
tragedy
Candace
has
and
fractured a
Candy,
family
Grandma
and
Candy,
divided a small town.
they've been thick as
It's also
thieves.
put a spotlight
So
on
to
the way
speak, so to
police
speak.
investigated
The case of a 3-year-old who vanished almost without a trace. When a 3-year-old goes missing, that's generally alarm bells go off immediately. When did police alert the public that Dylan was missing?
4:30 p.m.
How many hours after the 911 call is that?
3 hours.
You're telling me they waited 3 hours before issuing an alert that a 3-year-old was missing?
Yeah. Breaks my heart.
What the hell, man?
I believe that he could have had a chance. I think they screwed up.
A public alert wasn't issued until 3 hours and 8 minutes after the 911 call. It took almost 2.5 hours before search and rescue had boots on the ground.
It's almost as if the police found the boots in the water. So that's their answer. Case solved.
You
believe
They also
those
found summer
boots,
shoes. It's
and it
crazy,
was
the
from then
similarities.
on, it was in their head. He fell in the brook.
They never treated Dylan's case like a criminal investigation. They just treated it like a search and rescue. I know that they didn't block off any streets.
I
They
agree,
didn't
True
stop
Helper.
the public from coming into the crime scene or the area that he went missing. And they were very late on issuing alerts and getting help. So I think that.
And is this an Amber Alert? Do y'all know?
Had a play in that. Once they found the boots, and that was it. That's where he went, and essentially the police tell us that we need to accept it and move on.
What the? I'm gonna have to hear them
Remember, the
police say
official
that.
search was canceled after 6 days.
Accept it.
So frustrated and so desperate, Jason began conducting his own searches.
So I think that tunnel vision did have a play in that. Once they found the boots, and that was it. That's where he went, and essentially the
No, I want
police
crossing.
tell us that we need to accept it and move on.
Remember, the official search was canceled after 6 days. So frustrated and so desperate, Jason began conducting his own searches, sometimes 2 and 3 a week. He also scraped together enough money to hire a private investigator.
That's sad, Stacy.
The drowning theory, if everything else has been eliminated.
Dave Worrell is a former RCMP detective who spent 35 years investigating major crimes, including cold cases. For him, there are questions about Dorothy's recollections.
Y'all remember all the private investigators with Dior? They turned on the family.
Timeline.
This is the last spot that Dorothy says she saw Dylan. Now, there are only 2 ways out of this backyard. He either would have bolted for Queen Street, this busy street here, or he made his way through this gap in the fence and headed for the water.
The police theory is that Dylan was drawn to the water and was washed away by the strong current. But Worrell says police didn't seem to even entertain the possibility that the 3-year-old may have headed toward the street.
We did canvassing on Queen Street too, because that was my concern. And the police had
I agree,
anything
Craig.
on Queen Street.
Police didn't canvass on Queen Street?
I don't think anybody we talked to said they've never been approached.
There's only 2 ways that boy could have gone. You go back to Queen Street 6 months later and interview people along there, prime areas of where he would have been, potentially.
Yeah.
And the people tell you they've never been spoken to by police.
That's what they told us.
You must have been
What the hell?
shocked.
Yeah, I mean, shocked or not surprised. I mean, that, if you don't have a good team, and that's all they do is go knock on doors for the next 2 or 6 hours, right? Then, it could have been a manpower thing.
Dave Worrell says
It's
police
crazy
had initially
similar.
agreed to meet him about the case, but that meeting was abruptly called off.
What do you think was behind them canceling this meeting with you?
Except the rural area part.
all along, I think there's been friction between Jason and the police.
That tension peaked after Jason organized this protest that ended up in the lobby of police headquarters.
Everybody here is currently in breach of the COVID regulations. You're being asked to leave.
Jason had for months been bombarding police with emails and online allegations that they weren't doing their job. He filed 2 separate complaints into the way Truro police were handling the investigation and became so alienating that police cut off all in-person contact with him, citing his abusive emails, voicemails, social media posts, and misinformation about his son's disappearance.
When I made my
It's his son.
Chief McNeil called me and said, "You slowed down your son's investigation. You're not to talk to the lead investigator, and you're to get 1 email a week because you filed a complaint." I was instantly angry. What do you mean that's going to slow down my son's investigation because I think you guys did something wrong? You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think about us. The child's missing. Who gives a shit about us?
Do you think the police are
Wow.
punishing Jason for speaking out against the way this investigation has been conducted?
Yes.
You know, I understand that maybe they
About us. The child's missing. Who gives a shit about us?
Do you think the police are punishing Jason for speaking out against the way this investigation has been conducted?
Yes.
You know, I understand that maybe they don't like the little rock in their shoe, but it's kind of too bad. It's our son, and I can't imagine they would act
Exactly,
any
True
differently
Helper. That is
if
what
they were
desperation
in our
looks like.
shoes.
Coming up,
I wasn't allowed to be part of it.
a family torn apart by tragedy.
God, that's gotta hurt.
Yep.
When W5 continues.
Tony De La Rosa.
What the crap? What do y'all think about that? That's crazy. I'm proud of them for not giving up too. That's crazy. I am not. This is the first time I'm really just looking into this. The baby's face looks familiar. His name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've looked at this case at all. Not like this. God. So they tell the dad. They tell the dad you can't even send no more emails. You get 1 email a week. 1 email a week about your missing child. So now there's this confrontation between the family and law enforcement, but it's their missing kid. So, oh wow, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Does anyone know the name of that river that they showed? I'd like to look it up on Google Earth. Ooh. Heck. Crap. Let me find it, True Helper. That's a good question. Let me see. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. River. Hold on, let me see. All right, I'm pulling it up now. Let me see. Without knowing where their son. Okay, let me see. I'm skimming. Extensive search was lost. Missing toddler. Truro police. Okay. Trying to see. I'm skimming through. Y'all probably already have it in the chat before I even get back. Look, yeah. Okay, I'm glad I have my phone with the chat on. Here, I did get this video pulled up. Thank you, Nana. I'm glad I looked over. I'd have been over here, just doing whatever. All right, I did got another article pulled up for this baby. Let's see. Yeah, this one's crazy. I'm glad we kind of stumbled into this story because we have definitely not covered it over here.
A year has now passed since the disappearance of Dylan Ehler. But few questions have been answered about what happened to the little 3-year-old boy.
Tonight, for the first time, CTV's Sarah Plowman is speaking with the last person to see Dylan, his grandmother.
Without knowing where their
Salmon River
they
is
do
what
they
Miranda
know
said.
he would
There's
love
a
to
brook.
do. Launch little boats marked with hope 1 year after he disappeared.
It's tough. It's sad. To put a boat out in memory of a child is. Wish I wasn't here right now.
The 3-year-old was last seen by his grandmother in Truro, here in her backyard. For the first time today, she spoke with CTV News.
I went to tie the dog on her lead, and I turn around, and Dylan is just, it's gone. He's just gone. I have no explanation.
Parsons says it all happened in about 18 to 20 seconds. She doesn't recall anyone nearby who looked suspicious, but
I don't think he went near the water. I think somebody has him. To not be able to have him, hear him laughing, playing.
I'm looking at it now,
I'm just
Miranda.
destroyed.
Dylan's boots were found nearby, near a brook and a river. Despite extensive searches, there's been no other signs of him. Truro police don't suspect foul play.
There are days where, I feel like this is the most logical explanation that he went in the river. And then there are days where you think about, just all the branches and trees and debris in the water that, should have stopped him. They stopped his boots. Why didn't they stop him?
Questions that 365 days later are still painful.
It doesn't get easier. It gets harder. The longer he's gone, it's harder and harder.
And so to cope, they promise to keep searching.
Exactly,
and never
good day.
stop showing their son he is loved. Sarah Plowman, CTV News.
All right, let me pull this up. Let me exit out of this one. I'm going to pull it up now, Miranda. Let me see. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay, let me pull it up. Yeah, there's a lot going on with the Cody Bixby case, too. Freaking police completely screwed that shit up. Made me mad. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, so here's the river right here. And here's their house. Wow. Man, shit is crazy. That is crazy. Let me make sure y'all are looking at what I'm looking at. Yeah. That's crazy. Let me see. One boot found tangled in Leaper's Brook. The other one found further down. River Brook is on the side. Salmon River straight behind. Leaper. I knew what you meant. Guys, this is crazy. Well, I'm glad we stumbled into this. I have not looked at this boy's case. I wouldn't be able to sleep either. And then, I guess we can watch the third one. It's like 15 minutes, but I figured we could, that's the gist of the story. But, that's crazy. I feel so bad for this family. Like my mind, I'm like processing. What do y'all think, man? That's wild. Let me see. All right. Okay. So I'm going to try to transition into the next story. Hey, Cat Eyes. Welcome, baby. Hello, everybody. It's been a minute since I've been here. We're so happy to see you. It's been a minute since I've been here, too. I like to see a baby smile or so innocent. Oh, I know. Better screenshot sent. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, Miranda. Let me send it to my Facebook. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. I'm about to send it. That way we can look at a better screenshot. Except for you got the giant video you're watching in the middle of it, but it's fine. I do that all the time. I'm game. You could stop a comment on a third video. I enjoy. Yeah. I did want to. Do y'all want to watch the third one? If y'all want to watch the third one, put a 1. If not, or do y'all want to move on and then we can go back? We can totally do that too. I just want to make sure I get these other ones talked about. It's very sad. It's absolutely. Let's see, whatever. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's look at these other stories. Y'all do want to watch that other one? Okay. Well, let's get through these and then let's get through the other stories that I have. I just want to make sure. And then we'll go back. As a matter of fact, we can watch it in all open panel. How about that? Yeah. I got time to do. I like that song. Yeah, I've been listening to rap all day. I'm sure it's helped my mood. I like music with a beat. So this one's going to have you mad. This one's going to have you mad. Well, let's talk about Paisley real quick. Everybody's familiar with Paisley. So let's look at this story. I'm not doing a deep dive or nothing. Praise God she was found. I just wanted to, hey, miracles are happening, guys.
Proud of the
Miracles
craftsmanship
are freaking happening.
and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made.
Yeah, I mean, sadness, but it's hopeful, right? I mean, the baby's been missing for all this time. So, let's see. Let's see. All right. Here we go.
Missing since 2019, alive and hidden in a home. Authorities say they found Paislee Shultis in a secret room under a staircase in Saugerties. Police have arrested the girl's parents and grandfather, who did not have legal custody.
Now, Paislee was first reported missing 2 years ago in Cayuga Heights. That's a town about 150 miles away from Saugerties, where she was finally found. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Johnson live in Saugerties with the breaking details. Anthony?
Yes, cray. This one's
Yes, Sandra and David, I just want you to take a look right behind me. This is the House of Horrors. This is where the little girl was found by police just last night. She was found in a dark, deep, wet hole in a basement area or under some staircases leading to the basement area in this home. As you said, she is now safe and she is now living with other family members. The disappearance of then 4-year-old Paislee Shultis appears to be part of a larger family custody battle with a strange and terrifying twist. The child was abducted from Tompkins County, New York, and it was always the suspicion that she had been taken by her non-custodial parents, Kimberly Cooper, and her father, Kurt Shultes. Cops had come to this location at 35 Fawn Road numerous times and given limited access to the house. The home is covered with several cameras, so those inside would have warning if someone was coming. Then last night, cops came here with a search warrant to take another look for the missing little girl. This time, they found her along with Kimberly Cooper huddled in a secret compartment underneath the stairs. Police had to remove the floorboards, and that's when they saw the child's feet and knew that something was amiss. One neighbor describes the large extended family as being out of the ordinary, and they mostly kept to themselves.
They have all these
Cat Eyes, we'll be
playsets
here.
out here and stuff, but you never see any children on them.
What do you think about the fact that the child was hidden in this house for so long and nobody knew?
Under a staircase. Dumbfounded, because my granddaughter's been over there playing and everything, and I just figured they were just normal people.
What the hell?
Now, Cooper has been charged with custodial interference and child endangerment. She is going to be held in jail because she had another outstanding warrant. As for the father, Kurt, and his father, they are both charged with the same exact charges, although they have been released. But the good news, once again, is that the little girl, Paislee, is safe and living with other family members.
That lady said, my kids have been over there playing and everything. What in the hell, man? But this is a miracle. This is a miracle. I know it's awful. I know the baby went through is awful, but she's alive. Now she has an opportunity to recover from whatever she's been through, right? Let's see. How did they even know to take out the floors? Well, they said, what did the guy say? He said he had a feeling like something wasn't right, you know? I'm not leaving. I'll watch you twice tonight. Oh, man. Hey, I'm happy to be here tonight. I don't normally stream at night, so yeah, it's okay. I'm a lot better. Like, I'm not a morning person. Furthermore, I actually hate. Yes, she was found alive. Yes, Steph. I pretty much loathe mornings, and unless I get woke up and everything runs perfectly, I'm a little bit of a bear. Just a little bit of a bear. So we're gonna look at this next story, and oh, dear baby Jesus, I do not know what is going on in Tennessee, my state, my home state, my entire life, my home. Steph said I didn't hear the part where she was alive. Yeah. Oh, I would have been a lot more serious about it if not. I mean, it's a huge blessing that she was found. Like, it's amazing. I love seeing stories like this. I hate it happens, but it's good to know that there's hope, you know, for the missing kids that are out there. So this one's going to have you completely pissed off. You know, I've said it, you know, people always, men, 1 in 4 men, they're predators. Yes, and they are. But guess what? Women do it too. This whole piece of shite. Is that how they say it in the countries? Shite, arse. I'm completely born and raised in Tennessee. If you cannot tell, but this bitch right here. Oh man, if it would have been my teenage son, she was trying to reach out to get some little hey on the side. Help, God help you, lady. Wow, y'all gonna fall out. Please don't shout me down. Thank you for sending this to me, heck, Sea Turtle. Thank you, because I did not know about it. This is probably a couple hours from where I'm at. No, I don't care about the junk car. All right, let's wait till this goes, and then yeah, this story had me irritated. I think it's like 18 counts of child rape. 18 counts. All right.
That's a reaction from McMinn County parents after this woman was indicted on charges alleging that she had sexual contact with at least 9 high school boys. And investigators say there could be more victims out there. Today, we heard from the mother of one of the alleged victims, and as Eric Benninghoff reports tonight, she is devastated.
A small community rocked by disturbing news. An Englewood woman indicted on numerous charges related to sexual encounters with high school students. Today, we heard from the mother of one of the victims. With just a water tower and a few shops, small-town Englewood isn't used to being at the center of big news.
But it's just shocking to hear about stuff like that going on. And it just enrages me.
McMinn County Sheriff Joe Guy says all 9 confirmed victims were
She would have
students
catch
at
all the
McMinn
hands,
Central
all
High
the
School.
smoke, the feet,
Christy
everything.
Teague
I'd have
says
been
she
in
has
there.
a child that goes there.
My heart just hurts for them because, I mean, I would be livid if it happened to my kids.
Today, a child that goes there.
My heart just hurts for them because it's going on. And it just enrages me.
McMinn County Sheriff Joe Guy says all 9 confirmed victims were students at McMinn Central High School. Christy Teague says she has a child that goes there.
My heart just hurts for them because, I mean, I would be livid if it happened
Super
to my
freak,
kids.
pedophile,
Today we
yeah.
spoke with one of the victims' mothers who told us Blair asked her son to come to her home for a vape pen, then had sex with him. She said, quote, "People focus mostly on the perpetrator. They don't realize how it devastates a family, how the families are at home, and we don't know what to do next. I have no idea how to go forward with this." Yesterday, District Attorney Steve Crump said there are likely more victims out there.
In a case like this, it truly is about those who were victimized. It's not about a headline. It's not about a trial. It's about trying to make as much as possible our victims whole.
I just want to point this out too. One of the most things that enrages me so much about these stories is there will be some friends. There may even be a grown adult male who's like, hey, like if she was attractive, Oh, they'd have been getting the high fives. They'd have been getting the little ass pats. They'd have been getting all of it. They would have been getting praise. But if a male does this, stop the fucking presses, right? Stop the fucking presses. But, you know, for some reason, young men, young boys, minors, that, you know, they get sought out by an older female, it's acceptable. It's okay, you know. It's so disgusting what our society does, okay? I mean, potentially, there could have been one of the boys' dads that was like, you know, no, it is the exact same. It is a double standard. It is the exact same. It is no different than a coach, than anything. It doesn't matter. It's the exact same. In fact, there's a small part of me that feels like it's just slightly worse. Why? Because women, we have in our DNA makeup nurturers, carers. We don't do this, right? It's a big hell, not no, but hell no, right? Not saying men don't have that, but as a woman, as a mother, she should have known this shit. Hey, Sean, how are you doing, honey? Yeah, it's awful. Let me get back to the BM, but I just want to share that. What a double freaking standard, man! It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
And the victim's mom, who wished to remain anonymous, echoed that feeling, saying, quote, "This isn't just about putting a perpetrator behind bars. This is about families healing."
Parents need to talk to their kids to speak up because it's not right. It's just really not right.
This afternoon, we visited the address for Melissa Blair from jail records and left a note. No one came to the door.
It's just hard to, you know, describe it.
A painful story at Englewood's doorstep that's far from over. In McMinn County, Eric Benninghoff, News Channel 9.
We called Blair's attorney for comment as well, but we have not heard back.
Oh, she didn't text a little catchy response? She didn't have nothing to say? She wanted to message all these little boys, you want to smoke a vape pen? Oh, man, what a hag. What a freaking hag. All right, so let's see. Let me see. What else do I got? I do have, I do have one. Let me see. Let me go back up. I didn't even catch it, cat eyes. Let me go back. I have all boys, 3. I'm putting my stomp a bitch out in the boots right now. What town? I'm right. Cat eyes, I'm right there. Let me find out you messaging my fucking teenage son, which he's an adult now. Let me still find out a 30-something-year-old woman, 40-something-year-old woman is messaging. Come on, man. You ain't got nothing better to do. You can't go play with kids your own age. Like, what are you doing, ma'am? You're trying to get beat up in jail? Oh, you think them women are going to be kind to you? Bitch, please. Bitch, please. They're coming for your ass. They're coming for you. Ain't nothing cute about diddling little teenage boys. You sought them out. She sought them out. Man. I mean, it's disgusting. And like I said, the double standard is just insane. Let me see. I do have, let's look at this one. I had this one. Well, hold on. I'm supposed to share the screen first, apparently. Let's see. I want y'all to look at this one about Amber Alert. And the next stream I do, we will cover everything that's been happening with Cody. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with it. But this is one that I've had pulled up for a while. It's old. I didn't get to it whenever it was the last time.
Investigation now is taking a closer look at Amber Alerts. Many of you have expressed concern over the lack of an Amber Alert in the disappearance of a young Cody Bigsby. I know, Jessica Larche, you and the investigative team have been on top of this since day one.
Yeah, a lot of questions about why there was not an Amber Alert for Cody Bigsby. But as our investigative team has learned, there was one key element that kept Cody's case from getting an Amber Alert. And some say that means the laws need another look.
Every moment a child like Cody Bigsby is missing, the likelihood of finding them becomes grim.
With each day that passes, we lose a little bit more hope.
While Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot called in the FBI very early in the search for Cody, sent out drones and search parties, he's still taking heat from some in the community because there was not an Amber Alert issued for Cody.
I will say, Amber Alert is a great tool. It was created in 1996. In 2022, we're all connected. I don't think that we had any difficulty getting the word out about this missing child.
An Amber Alert would have activated the emergency alert system, phone, radio, television, even VDOT message boards on the highway.
I
But
think
as News 3 investigates,
they
learned,
should
the
all get
police
one.
chief alone cannot issue an Amber Alert. That's up to Virginia State Police. And according to state law, they can only trigger an Amber Alert when all of these criteria are met. The child is 17 and younger. The child is in imminent danger, and police believe the child was abducted. Now, because Hampton
Tennessee
police
don't
do
give a
not
shit
think
about none
Cody
of
was
that. They
abducted,
file them when they
Virginia
want to
State
file them.
Police didn't trigger the Amber Alert to find him. But what local law enforcement can control is the amount of resources they call in to help find a missing person.
Manpower, drones, search teams.
100% cat eyes.
Because time is of the essence.
Derica Wilson with
Raggedy
the Black and
heifer, I
Missing
love
Foundation
that.
applauds Hampton police for calling in the FBI as soon as they did to help find Cody. It's a call she says isn't made often enough when it comes to finding missing children of color. But she says Cody's case is proof the criteria for Amber Alerts needs another look.
Just because he's missing out of Virginia doesn't mean that he's in Virginia. He could be in North Carolina, he could be in South Carolina, he could be in Florida.
Cody's case isn't the only one from the Hampton area that did not get an Amber Alert. There was no Amber Alert for little Noah Tomlin. The 2-year-old disappeared in 2019 from a Buckrow Beach community not far from Cody's. The community came together then to help find him, but police eventually arrested the boy's mother for murdering him. And Hampton police didn't initially issue an Amber Alert for Kira and Chloe Johnson. The mother and daughter were reported missing May 1st of 2017, also from the Buckrow Beach area. But 10 days later, former Hampton Police Chief Terry Salt announced there would be an Amber Alert. They're still missing.
We believe an abduction was involved in this case.
Wow, we had to look into that one. I never heard of that.
Occurred, then we tripped the Amber Alert system.
And there was no alert when Ashanti Billy disappeared.
No,
in Virginia Beach
I'm
in
pretty sure
2017.
Alicia has one.
Police later learned she was abducted and murdered. The 19-year-old was too old for an Amber Alert and too young for a Silver Alert. Her parents worked with lawmakers to create the Ashanti Alert for abducted adults.
Do you think that Amber Alert should still be an all or nothing criteria point?
Sure, there's always room for a conversation as to whether there may be other endangered child advisories or, something that might be able to be something where it doesn't have the criteria for the Amber Alert.
As Hampton Roads' hearts and minds remain focused on Cody Bigsby, the conversation is evolving about how to keep this from happening to another child. Now, Virginia State Police have issued 23 Amber Alerts in the last 5 years. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, nearly 1,100 children have been located thanks to Amber Alerts nationwide.
When people are missing, of course, the Amber Alert a lot of times is the first thing we think about. Are there other alerts or tools that police can use?
Yeah, there are several, actually. In addition to the Amber Alert and the Ashanti Alert, there is an endangered child alert. There's also the senior alert for missing
I think
adults
that's
over
what
60
Alicia's
that may have
got,
dementia or
actually, the
Alzheimer's
endangered
disease.
child.
And there's the missing person with autism alert. But again, these don't always sound the same alarm as an Amber Alert with that emergency alert system.
I'm muted. Y'all don't hear nothing I say. All right. So y'all still want to watch the third part of Dylan's? Because let me pull it up. And then I'll drop the link and open the panel. And I think while it's playing, I'm going to go make a little coffee. Y'all have made me want some coffee. Coffee makes me sleepy. So a lot of times. Let me pull up the third one. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm just hanging out, y'all. I have some time. Hubby's not home for the night, so he's working out of town. And yeah, I'm glad we're hanging out.
USAA is made for the safe life.
I'd be all in my little head, be all in my little feelings. Silver Alert. I knew it was something because she's autistic. I knew she had something like that because she is autistic, high functioning.
Get it work today.
One of two ads. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm fixing to. I'm gonna start it and then I'm gonna let it play and I'm gonna start. But I'm gonna drop the link too. So if y'all come in and want to, hop up, you don't have to. I'm just saying I got time. So, and we're just gonna watch this And then just chit chat. What? That looked good. What was that? The cleaning lady. Yeah, I'm out. No, ma'am.
In the absence of facts, conspiracy thrives. The mystery of what happened to 3-year-old Dylan Ehler, who vanished in Truro, Nova.
I should probably share my screen, huh? Will probably help. Yeah, I'm fixing to go. No, you're fine, Tree Helper. All right, I'm going to share screen. Start it. I'm going to go start my coffee. Coffee. Do y'all watch Rich Lux? If y'all do. He's so funny. He makes fun of Trisha Paytas. Well, sort of. But he's like, you know, she got married. I know y'all don't care. Listen, when I tell you I consume everything on the YouTube, I consume everything. I love everything. Well, I don't love it, but yeah, I'm involved. But he make fun of Trisha. He's like, Moses, bring me my water. Man, if y'all like the little drama stuff, watch Rich Lux, dude. He's so hilarious. Moses. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Starting to get a little silly in here. All right, going on.
In the absence of facts, conspiracy thrives. The mystery of what happened to 3-year-old Dylan Ehler, who vanished in Truro, Nova Scotia, has triggered some wild theories. But one aspect has not been fully explored until now: the police and search and rescue response to the tragedy.
On the 1-year anniversary of Dylan Ehler's disappearance in Truro, Nova Scotia, his mother Ashley and father Jason held a small ceremony on the bank of the Leper Brook.
Where's Dylan? It's been 365 days without him. It's hard to believe it's been a year already.
We made little paper boats for Dylan. We decorated them, and we sent them floating down the Sabre River. I thought maybe that's something that he would like. And it was hard, but I like seeing the support and having other people come and join in too.
But not everyone was welcome.
At the 1-year anniversary of the memorial that was held down here, everyone was all around the water, and you were way back, not a part of it.
I wasn't allowed to be part of it.
Because you're seen as the person who's responsible for this.
Yeah.
God, that's gotta hurt.
Yep. It does. It won't be the same ever again, probably.
The family has been ripped apart. But on one topic, they are united: their belief that police bungled the case.
All right, I'm back.
Confident in our investigation. It was very thorough. There was no stone left unturned.
Dave McNeil is the chief of the Truro Police Department. He sat down with W5 for a wide-ranging interview about the critical hours after Dylan vanished. Why was an Amber Alert not issued when Dylan disappeared?
So an Amber Alert's only reserved for when there's a confirmed criminality. There's a very strict criteria that's used in issuing an Amber Alert. So this case didn't rise to that.
You're saying that there has to be proof of criminality before an Amber Alert?
There has to be evidence of criminality, or an abduction or something of that nature. Amber Alerts are used for only a very small percentage of cases, and they're reserved for very specific cases.
And so what's called a non-intrusive public alert was sent out by the province's EMO, the Emergency Management Office. But not until 4:32 p.m. Dylan was reported missing to police at 1:24. Why would there be a delay of more than 3 hours?
All right, the link is pinned to the top of the chat.
Well, the public was alerted. The non-intrusive alert took some time to get out through EMO, and that's outside of our control. That's with EMO.
But the EMO couldn't send out its alert until directed to do so by police. The EMO tells W5 they received the approved message from Truro Police about the missing child at 4:13 p.m. 19 minutes later, at 4:32, the alert went out. That means it took police 2 hours
I don't know,
and
Stacey. I have
49
no
minutes
clue.
to relay information to the emergency office that a 3-year-old was missing.
You feel confident that the public was alerted quickly enough that this
absolutely.
boy had disappeared?
Absolutely. Local radio,
I don't sleep. I'll be up all
local
night
Facebook
with hubby
pages,
out of
Town
town.
of Toronto
So,
website,
yeah.
Town of Toronto Facebook page, Police Service Facebook page. It's a small community, so those networks are actually more effective locally than another type of alert. So those were done very shortly after we established that the young fellow was missing.
So a press release was sent out to all those agencies saying that
I don't think a press release formal was out, but definitely messaging on a phone call to radio and social media pages for sure.
In fact, there is no record of any alerts or advisories on the Truro Police or
somebody
town
got some
Facebook
explaining to
pages
do, huh?
on May 6, 2020, the day Dylan disappeared. The town Twitter account did tweet out Dylan's disappearance within an hour. There were questions online about why a public alert wasn't being issued.
Clearly, like, time is of the essence in a disappearance, especially of a 3-year-old.
For sure.
You know that there's water around there. You know that there's a busy street.
That's right.
Seems like there was some delay in taking this seriously.
I'll be absolutely clear with you.
Delay?
There was no hesitation. Police were there within 5 minutes of the call. Supervisor was there within 8 to 10 minutes of the call. K9 was there on scene within 40 minutes of the call.
He's so
Ground Service Rescue
adorable.
was put on
Welcome,
standby
Katie.
within an hour. Helicopter was on scene very quickly. So all
I know, right? I'm having a sad party, huh, Craig? Craig? I'm so happy y'all came.
Insinuate that we didn't take it serious, because I can tell you we did.
Well, I can
is the
tell you
timeline.
didn't fucking alert
At
enough people.
1:24 p.m., police
Sir.
received the 911 call. Search and rescue didn't have boots on the ground until 3:45, 2 hours and 21 minutes after Dylan was reported missing.
We know what we have to do. Our members are trained.
Tom Fitzpatrick is president of the Colchester Ground Search and Rescue Team. He was in charge of the search for Dylan.
As an outsider looking in, when you see that at 1:30-ish, a 3-year-old boy disappears, and that it takes hours to get the most important people, you guys, out there, that feels like a long time.
It does, and it's a norm, though. It is very much a norm. We're not allowed to activate ourselves. We have to be activated by a police force.
So why do you think police took so long to activate you?
They were managing the scene from what we can tell.
Would the odds of finding Dylan have been better had you guys been out there faster?
I would say no, but could we have been on the ground faster? Yes, we could have been. We could have been on the ground faster, but
At least he's being honest, you know.
I don't think would have been any different.
Chief McNeil denies complaints that the disappearance wasn't treated as a potential crime and says the neighborhood was thoroughly canvassed after Dylan disappeared. Jason's official complaint triggered a review of the police investigation by a neighboring police chief. Amherst Chief
I'll rewind a
Dwayne
little
Pike
bit,
writes that
Katie.
he conducted a complete review of the Truro file and concludes, sadly, not all investigations come to a successful conclusion, was thoroughly canvassed after Dylan disappeared. Jason's official complaint triggered a review of the police investigation by a neighboring police chief. Amherst Chief Dwayne Pike writes that he conducted a complete review of the Truro file and concludes, sadly,
I saw a
not
good
all
day, I will.
investigations come to a successful conclusion. But by no means does that mean that the investigating agency was negligent or unprofessional.
A big part of your mission as chief of police is community engagement.
Correct. Yeah.
How would you describe the engagement that you've had with Jason?
With Mr. Ehler himself, obviously our heart breaks for Jason. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I think he lashes out a little bit because he's hurting. So we've given Jason a very wide courtesy. However, when we update the family, if it's disruptive to have someone there that's disrupting the meeting,
bots are like,
taking
I mean, then
conversations
freaking
secretly and then putting bits and pieces
bots are
online
like
to
gremlins,
create
huh?
a narrative, that's not productive to the investigation. It's not productive to the family healing. We would love nothing more than to find Dylan healthy and alive, or recover Dylan for his family. This has been hard on everybody. I feel for the family, and it's been tough on the community.
Coming up,
if there's anything absolutely anything that shows up, we'd be back on the search.
Without a trace, hope fades for a broken family.
How can you even say that if you have no proof?
When W5 continues.
That was part 3. I didn't see a part 4.
On CTV.ca.
Hold on.
The kids are old enough to start making memory.
Uh-oh. No, I did not mean to do that. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Part 4. I can smell my coffee.
Tony De La Rosa, we have a few questions.
Okay. What is this, the cleaning lady? Is she like clean up murder scenes or something? I don't even watch that stuff. Why am I even wondering? I don't watch regular TV. Let's see. Gotta grab and take it. Let's see. Got a screen grab. That look down to Dylan. Yeah. How are you gonna tell the family how to I know, right, Katie? Like, seriously. This one's 6 minutes. I'm gonna go grab my coffee. Oh, oops. Let me share the damn screen. I'm getting
The
old.
Bay of Fundy is one of the 7 wonders of North America. It has a phenomenon known as a tidal bore. Twice a day, the leading edge of the powerful tide creates a standing wave of water that travels upstream, changing the direction of the current and extending the Bay of Fundy's tides into the extensive network of nearby rivers and streams.
The Bay of Fundy is known for the highest tides in the world. You can go out there on low tide and you can see miles and miles of mudflats. You'll see a fishing boat sitting on the bottom and come back at high tide. That fishing boat's now 50 feet higher in the water.
Tom Fitzpatrick is president of the Colchester Ground Search and Rescue Team, in charge of the search operation.
One of the biggest questions that we had in our minds that we really wanted to know was, could he reach the influence of the tidal waters? So what we wanted to know is, first of all, could a mannequin of those parameters reach that? And that was one of the big questions we had.
And what did you find?
We found it could reach it. And I mean, this is 2 weeks afterwards.
The mannequin did get caught up in debris along the way, as Jason has said. But Tom maintains it did eventually make its way to the Bay of Fundy, despite the fact that on the day of the test, the water was half a meter lower than the day Dylan disappeared.
Prior to Dylan going missing, we had 2 days of heavy rain. So Leper Brook on that day was overflowing its banks.
How high up would it have been?
I would say it would have been, for myself, almost chest height in some spots.
So up to here?
Yeah. Grown firemen that are dressed and trained to work in water, it was almost sweeping them off their feet. And this is 3 to 4 hours after the fact that this is happening, that it's still almost sweeping them off their feet.
What you're saying
It was
is
fast.
that if he fell in there,
He was gone very quickly.
Tom believes Dylan was drawn to the raging water.
We take a profile for a 3-year-old child missing, all right? Some of the things we look at is what we call as a reflector, things that would attract them. And one of the things that would attract a 3-year-old child is water. It was rushing so loud. You could actually hear it rushing. It was so loud.
what I can't wrap my head around is, if the Booths didn't go out to the Bay of Fundy, why do you believe that Dylan did?
Because of his size and his weight. His size and his weight, he would have pushed small objects away. He would have pushed small objects away where the boots got caught up actually in debris along the sides and in the water.
I missed that. I'm going to rewind just a
Jason's vocal
smidge.
online and in-person criticism of the way the search was conducted has left deep wounds.
I have a 3-year-old child missing, all right? Some of the things we look at is what we call as a reflector, things that would attract them. And one of the things that would attract a 3-year-old child is water. It was rushing so loud. You could actually hear it rushing. It was so loud.
What I can't wrap my head around is, if the Booths didn't go out to the Bay of Fundy, why do you believe that Dylan did?
Because of his size and his weight. his size and his weight, he would have pushed small objects
Which
away.
that does make sense.
He would push small objects away where the boots got caught up actually in debris along the sides and in the water.
Jason's vocal online and in-person criticism of the way the search was conducted has left deep wounds.
I have a 3-year-old grandson. So it's a challenge. We put a lot of hours. The members put a lot of hours. Ridicule and criticism.
Yeah, thank you. Good day. Thumbs up are always appreciated.
Unjustified.
This is sad, man.
We feel with the family.
I appreciate this man's honesty.
Family's got to realize that we've done what we can do. If there's anything, absolutely anything that shows up, we'd be back on the search.
When you look back at the way this investigation was handled, is there anything that you would do differently?
No, not from an investigative standpoint.
Exactly,
or a resource
Cat Eyes.
standpoint, or
Exactly.
calling in specialists or anything. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the desired outcome that we want or the family wants, but we're still working and we're not going to give up on it.
The lure of the water, the swollen brook that feeds into rivers connected to the highest tides in the world. Police and search and rescue say the most likely answer to what happened to Dylan Ehler lies in the waters that lead to the Bay of Fundy. It's not a theory Jason or Ashley are quite willing to accept.
You know, I still have that hope that, you know, someday, you know, maybe somebody's taking care of him and maybe someday, you know, he can come home, because it has happened.
Some people might say, Jason, that you're just grasping at straws, that you are just looking for answers that aren't there, and that the reality is Dylan fell into that brook and was swept out to sea.
Prove it. That's what I'd say. Prove that to me. How can you even say that if you have no proof? You found a pair of boots someone could have tossed in off off the train bridge or the road.
And so Jason relentlessly continues to search 2, sometimes 3 times a week.
Yeah, they do favor a lot,
team of
Miranda.
volunteers, scouring for something, anything that might give him the proof he needs to solve the mystery of what happened to his son.
And this is this mental torture that you're going through.
Every day.
When you're out there doing those searches, it's this split, right? I mean, you want to find him.
So badly.
But you don't want to find him.
I don't want to find him at the same time, because then that means
This
gone.
is so crazy, this
That
story.
might be.
I mean, it's very
that's
plausible
one.
that he did drown.
That's the outcome. I don't think I have anything left in this world. I have to find him either way.
And if he did drown, what does it say about the people attacking
He's
this
my
family,
only
saying they did something to him, right? You know?
While Jason vows to never give up searching, this tragedy has sparked a demand to change the alert system in Nova Scotia, especially when a child goes missing. We have details of a petition that's been launched in Dylan's name on our website, w5.ctvnews.ca.
I am muted. So nobody wants to come up and talk. That's fine. We have finished all of the little series. I don't have anything else. We can just do whatever. Oh, hold on. Good Day sent me something. Let me go look. Hold on, Good Day. Let me go look. I may not be able to show it depending on. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Depending on what source it's from. But I will look and see if I can. Sometimes YouTube's fickle. Let me see. Let me look. I didn't see what it was about, Good Day. I just saw that you sent it. Let me check. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I do a lot of talking to myself. Do y'all talk to yourself when you're doing stuff? I do. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, we will watch this. Hold on. Thank you for sending it to me. Good day.
A Hampton woman and her infant.
Okay. Now, this is from April 30th, 2019. Y'all remember a second ago, they showed us Chloe Johnson and her daughter. So this is from 2019. Let me share the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. But this is, oh, okay. Here we go, Steph. Let's watch this video. I'm gonna go ahead and add you. Are you there? You might be muted. Are you there, Steph? Hold on. Mute. Unmute. Let's see. I think it's on your end. I'm going to go ahead and share the video. Wait, yeah, now you're muted. Now you're not. Can you hear me? Why can't I hear you? Yeah. We're going to watch the video, but I'll let you back up when you come back in. I don't know why it didn't show you were muted. I'm awfully close to the, all right, here we go. Now, they were telling us about this in the video about
Been
Dylan.
missing for 2 years. Tamara Scott is back with a story that a family wants everyone to hear, Tamara.
Absolutely, and it's the community. They want the family to know that they are not alone. I did talk with police today, and they say that the case is still under investigation and still active, but there was nothing else they could say at the time. And though they do keep their thoughts with Kier's family today and every day, the community also wants them to know.
Can you hear me better? Can you hear me okay now?
Let's mute while the
2
video
years
is
ago,
playing.
Kier Johnson and her 8-month-old daughter, Chloe, left their home in Hampton and headed to the beach, but they would never make it home. It wasn't long after a search ensued, and their whereabouts was the #1 question on everyone's mind.
Police say 34-year-old Kier Johnson and her 8-month-old daughter, Chloe, were last seen Sunday on Hastings Drive.
State police issued an Amber Alert for the child, saying she could be in extreme danger.
Police now say, though, that they may have been abducted. Last year, Kier's twin sister pleaded for them to come home.
Just imagine living in a world and you see trees and there's no more trees. There's no more grass because all I know is her. So it's hard.
To this day, the only thing police have recovered in the case has been her car, located in Newport News 2 weeks after they first disappeared. 2 years later, the community is still shocked.
I can't believe
That's hilarious, cat eyes.
No information whatsoever. Nothing.
But they want the family to know they're not giving up, and they'll always stand behind them.
I just want her to know that the community, we are wishing and hoping for her to come home.
God knows where they are, and never give up hope.
And I may not know them personally, but I am yet still praying for them because I know there's still hope.
Tune into God and trust Him for the answers, and don't give up hope.
Community definitely hasn't forgotten. Everybody I've talked to is behind the family, and they're all looking out, hoping that this story will end happily.
Now, I stopped at Kier's mother's house today, and I tried to call her, but she did not want to speak to us.
Look at her. She's so cute. Okay. What's up, Steph? Are you there?
Not much.
So
after watching that, I'm just like reliving the Wells case all over again.
It's wild.
And yeah. There's like so much stuff that I've wanted to tell, like I wanted to voice about that, but
you're okay, Stacey.
I haven't, just because I kind of felt like maybe Robin and I were seeing things a little differently, but no, there's no way. So
Right.
I've started.
So what I wanted to, not to cut you off, Steph, I just
Yeah.
wanted to, anybody remember a while back, I posted in the community post about a woman, it was a woman she was talking about the loss of her son, and she started watching YouTube, and she kind of gravitated towards creators like MGL, things like that, the ones that were like overzealous, so we're gonna get some answers. And Steph shared her testimony on burnt toast. It was a beautiful testimony about her son and her loss and everything, but this is her. She mentioned my channel. Shocked. I was completely shocked. You never know who's listening. But this is her. We've been communicating. So, chat, this is Stephanie. So, I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad that I called in. I mean, I can tell
Me
that he's
too,
different.
Katie. Katie says MGL stresses me the fuck out. The way
She said,
it cracks me
"Oh
up.
yeah, yeah." I tell
Leave
you,
me alone, sweetheart. Actually, though, I don't know. I've had to stop looking at it. It just, I can't do anything. I can't do anything, and I just, I start feeling like I'm contributing to the problem, if that makes sense.
absolutely.
From a creator,
Absolutely.
I kind of look at it a little bit. I don't know. It's like, yeah, we got to stop. We got to avoid use your platform, and then I'm like, this is exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, it's infuriating, man. I can remember, like, I went back to work way too soon after my son passed away. But I live alone. I'm single, and so after he died, it was like, what the heck am I gonna do with myself? Like the quiet hit. Um, it's a whole nother reality, and you would think that like being at home would be helpful, but it's not because for me, I was surrounded by memories, and the house that was just so like noisy all the time, was just so quiet, and I got into such a dark place just missing him and not knowing if this was reality or not. That for the longest time, like I thought I died and I was in hell or something. So I went back to work and I was on I worked I work on the railroad. I was taking a train.
Wait, what? Did you say you worked on a railroad?
Yeah, I'm a railroad conductor.
Oh my God, my heart just stopped.
Why?
My dad worked for the railroad for 20 years. God rest his soul. That's so wild. Union Pacific is where he worked for.
Oh yeah, yeah. I worked
No
for Norfolk
way.
Southern almost 18 years.
That's crazy. What a
Yeah,
small world, huh?
I know. Yeah, it's good money. Well, my son wanted to be a professional motocross racer when he was like 5. Like,
Right.
Mom, I'm gonna race dirt bikes when I grow up. The older he got, the more determined he was. So that's a lot of money.
Right.
When I got divorced, it was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? The railroad was hiring, it paid good, and it had awesome benefits, and I didn't have to be dependent on, I didn't, like my ex-husband and I had a good divorce, but for him to be a good dad, I didn't want to take his money, and he was a good dad.
Right.
He just was a shitty husband. So,
well, thank
yeah,
God, because at least you can say that, because a lot of women are like,
oh, for sure.
No, I have a new boyfriend and you suck. I am undoing the past and I'm just going to pretend like it never happened. I'm getting your reading. No, it doesn't work that way. You are like, I don't know. My thing is, I slept with you. I chose you. I had a child with you. I have to give you a second chance. It doesn't matter. If the second turns into 200, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not 200, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, so many women feel differently, and men are not promoted in the home like they should be. That's my opinion.
Right. Yeah, like we had a deal when he was younger that he would work weekends and holidays so that I could be home, for like up until junior high, and then after that I would work full time so he didn't have to work weekends and holidays and stuff. And we got divorced, but I still wanted to keep that schedule because he allowed me to be home, and he's always been a really good dad. So to cut him short just didn't feel like the right thing to do. And I don't know, I've always like found my strength in, being independent and self-sufficient.
Right.
But yeah, the railroad was where it was at, and I loved it. But
well, my dad worked there, and the only reason he left is because he worked in Memphis, but we didn't live in Memphis. Well, I mean, we do when I was really little, but we lived like an hour outside of Memphis in the country. But they wanted him to relocate the whole family to East St. Louis. And he was like, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I know. He was like, I'm not doing it. So he retired, right? Well, him and my mom, they split up. So, but when he died, he didn't even get the railroad money. Nobody, there was none of that because in the clause, you had to be married. And they were
you have to be married you have to have 20 years of service and be married 10 years to get full retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they had divorced. Yeah, it was a bummer.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I
I
say
think,
it's a bummer. I mean, my brother would have probably, he wasn't. My brother wasn't in a good headspace then, so it was probably best that nobody got the money. Truthfully, so
yeah, it's the railroad's a whole other entity. It's federal. It's federally controlled now for
I
about the
wonder,
last
can I
10
find
years.
a picture of me and him at the railroad track? I know I got it. You could talk. I'm gonna see if I can
It's
find it.
insane.
Maybe.
Oh, but I
Because-
was on a train going into Peru, Indiana, and I got my train into the yard, got off work, and I saw the flyers for the Abby and Libby, the Delphi homicide. And that was like the first time that I ever thought about YouTube. I was kind of like, I don't know, it felt different that time, seeing, that there were children that had died, that that were murdered. And
Right.
that was the first time that I kind of had like a self check or self reflection that, yeah, I was hurting and life sucked, and, I could sit in self pity and make that my crutch for the rest of my life. But
Wow.
at the same point, there were two little girls that were murdered, and, the murderer was still out there. So I seen a flyer, and it said, that this YouTube channel had all this information on it. And it did. And that was the first time that I learned. I downloaded the app, like all of this stuff. And I thought, mainstream media really only gives you like the basics,
Right.
But
No,
YouTube has
very
like,
true. That's true.
yeah, they're like right there all the time. They have all the information. And so, there was one creator that just had tons of Delphi stuff. And so I found myself like every day, watching this creator, like wanting to know. Plus, I'm in the area. And then that one, still hasn't been solved. But then, like Shay and Watts happened. And then just like one act right after another. But every time, it put me like in self check, that no matter how hard I think my life is, or how quiet my house is, or how, lonely, because all your friends shun you and your family, and it's like, it's so different with child loss. You really are a walking billboard, and everybody is kind of like, that could happen to me. I can't be around you, and then people say the dumbest stuff. Sometimes people can't really, they're so focused on not looking at you or seeing what you're going through that it's easy to throw anger. And I don't remember how I came across Molly Golightly. I can't remember exactly what put me on that channel, but as soon as I, like, in the first 30 minutes, I thought, this woman is crazy. She's insane crazy. But I had been around long enough to know that there's a difference between a true crime channel like you and someone like Molly Golightly. And here's the difference. When you watch a true crime channel, you get the facts of the case, you get pertinent information, you get the visual aids. By the time you're done with that show, you can then go and tell somebody else the story of what this crime was, where it took place, and so on and so forth. And you want to follow it. You want to go back to that channel to find out what happened. These other channels, that doesn't happen. It might start off with, a victim's name or something, but it ends up turning into a drama show. And so
people get sucked in by all the emotions too, all the hype and the yelling and roar, and it's fear mongering, and it's it's inciting, and it's but it's not real. But feelings feel real, but in reality, you can't die from them. How real are they? Right? I mean,
right. And when you're sitting at home and all of a sudden you're surrounded by what you don't have, and your whole world is just so upside down. I mean, I go, it's not so bad today, because I'm kind of coming out of it, but, I went from having like a house full of kids all the time, running to the airport all the time to take the kid or pick him up, or, we house on the lake, people always there, to nothing. And I remember the first time I heard myself laugh again, it just felt so like, who the heck was that?
Right.
And I would do little things like going to Starbucks
Did you feel
in
bad
order.
for being happy?
Yes, absolutely. For like 3 years, if I felt any kind of joy or happy, and it's bad because you
Katie,
yourself.
but she feels like Katie says, I hate how MGL's so dismissive and rid of her panel guests. Well, because she's better than everybody. It's only because her horse is so fucking high, right? I mean, like the view
Right.
is so good from the high horse. I'm sorry, I
Right.
didn't interrupt, but
But answer me this question. This is one question that I've asked her in her chat. She blocked me. Here, this I want to know this. If she's so well-to-do and she's so rich and she's so confident and she has so much, why is she always asking everybody else to pay for her to do good things for somebody else? If she's truly motivated to go do something good for a missing child or a murdered child, why isn't her money good enough to do that with? Why does she need everybody else's money?
I feel like I would go a step further and say if she really did come out and was one of two things. Either she really does to a degree feel like what she's doing is good. I really believe that somewhere in there she really feels like what she's doing is like good and like she's just, what did they say? We're taking true crime up a notch. Well, we ain't trying to go criminal, so you can notch it up, But wonder if she really was sincere and really was trying to be an advocate. I mean, and I'm not even saying don't go to where these cases are. Some cases absolutely need shaken up a bit, but not like that, right? There's a complete difference. But I mean, she could really utilize that. I would think 100% her husband would facilitate, support, and do all the things, right? I really do, because he'd have something to be proud of instead of something to, I don't know. I ain't trying to make a guesstimation on what goes on in their home at all, and he definitely seems like he cares about her. But I mean, if she could just flip it some type of way, she could turn. It's kind of like what the devil took for bad, God will make for good. You know what I mean? And I really do feel like she could turn, and I don't know the redeeming qualities. I don't know. I've just seen so much. Honestly, they're exhausting to me. I'm telling you, I didn't even know this side of YouTube existed. I had no clue about any of it.
Did I?
The only reason I even found out about it is because of Xavier and his mother, and she's like these creators, and that's how I found it. It started off with Laura, and then I started examining, going through her stuff. And it's so wild too. That's why you couldn't pay me to get involved with the Summer Wells case, like not to where I would reach with the family, and I would probably be all right with it because of what I've learned from Sarah or whatever. I don't want a part of it because it's a circus, and it's not about the baby anymore. Summer, everybody says, "Oh, it's for the babies." It's for no. The babies are lost in it. That's what people miss.
Yeah,
but I lost my train of thought. But in dealing with Sarah, like it just opened me up to so many things. And one of the biggest things, like watching them and actually talking to the foundation daily, doing actual awareness, making poster boards, whatever Molly's movement wanted to do to push out Xavier's, being missing, we would push it in our little community over here, whatever was asked of us. There's a huge presence on Facebook. I mean, all the things, right? So, but biggest, what drove me crazy, there was like a good 2 months to where it was so palpable to me, and just trying to go and redirect all the misinformation. Oh my God, it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. Even Linda from It's a Crime, I'm freaking emailing her and I'm like, please do a retraction. This is not right. He was not on his bicycles. Both of his bicycles are at home. This keeps getting circulated. And like it's like Pandora's box. Misinformation in a case is like Pandora's box, man. There is no one doing it. But like with me working so closely with Sarah, I felt like I had to, it's a false sense of whatever, but I felt like, oh, I got to do this. I got to say this. I got to, and then the Molly Tibbetts shit blew up and, oh God. And then it was just over from there. It was just over. And when I
you're a mom.
Sarah, yeah, for sure.
So you're going to react different. Here's something that I noticed though, being like a professional worker for so long. I noticed, I noticed some shit when it comes to her channel. Like, so the cases that she picks up on,
I think she
they're
lost
all
her second channel too, Katie. They say they're talking about Critical K in the comments, but I think she had a second channel. She just lost it, if I'm not mistaken, like within the past couple of days. Hey, Nancy.
oh,
This is
I think I
weird.
remember
Yeah.
her from Shanann Watts. Everybody wanted to be her.
Oh God. Let me tell you something. She's the only reason I ever did a video on about the Watts case, because I know all about it or whatever, but I never covered it because it's over covered. But I
Right.
did do one about like victim blaming. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Now I would I did watch some of her stuff, some of her monologues, not necessarily about the Watts case, but in general. I think I found her actually from Sophie Long. Now that case took on a whole nother life of its own. But in
I
some
think that's how I found her too. She was reading a monologue or something.
yeah, and some of her monologues were decent. I mean, she, you know, and she does have a knack for it, but at the same time, when you're so vile and nasty, like, bitch,
Yeah.
I didn't sleep. Like, what are you talking
Right.
about? Like,
Yeah.
people are really like, Shanann was a bitch. Shanann was controlling. She was suffocating. She was spending all the money. Divorce. Like, who gives a shit? If she's an awful person, she has time to change it. What are you doing?
Normal people are not going to say that kind of crap in public, knowing. Yeah, she's insane. I didn't like her either. That's the same thing Molly's doing. Like, the only reason she got involved with Summer Wells, my opinion, only my opinion, is because she sat back long enough to watch and wait to see how law enforcement was going to actually investigate the case. Just like all the other ones, when she goes out and extorts them, and law enforcement treated the Wells like a lot of other family members that are not excessively wealthy.
Right.
Or maybe they don't come from the best neighborhoods. But the day that law enforcement was asked questions and Ronnie Lawson answered those questions, and he didn't flat out say, yes, the family are suspects, or no, they're not suspects. He said everyone is the suspect.
Right.
And then he rolled his eyes about them working. Well, that's kind of like the okay.
You're right.
The bullshit. And
People do pay attention to what is not said.
Absolutely. And Molly especially does, because those are the only cases that she gets involved with. There's 3 missing children from her state within an hour from where she lives at. But they're wealthy families, and law enforcement is on top of those cases, so she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Well, you know what?
But
It's not just Molly that does that.
It's all of them
she
that
draws
do it.
attention because they go and they get involved in real life. But trust and believe, there's 100 ways to Sunday that only cover cases that are in the news, period. You know, and it's just like there's such a big community. We could really do beautiful things together, 100%.
Absolutely. Way more than mainstream media, because nobody's watching it anymore.
Right. No, I like the News Nation now. I think they've been doing a fabulous job about picking up these cases more. I really like that little network.
I don't think I've watched them. I don't even have cable anymore.
No. They're on YouTube. It's News Nation now. Brian Nenton.
Oh yeah. Brian Nenton.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do watch them from time to time.
Yeah, I think they do a real good job.
But like with Robin, so my Nana moved down to Kingsport several years ago.
I don't know if you want to open this can. Shit spreads like wildfire, but it's on you.
No, I don't. I don't care. I'm at the point now that
listen, anything Steph is about to go into and say, I have not verified anything. I do believe what she's saying, and I have seen some proof.
Oh yeah.
But I just want to throw out this disclaimer because, oh God, Beaver.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No.
So,
I mean, and I'm more than happy to send you screenshots, pictures, whatever.
Have you talked? Are they okay with this, Robin? In the Summer Wells case, Robin Lane. Have you talked to? I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, I talk to you every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everything lines up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of detail.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
just
Robin
because
Lane, Summer Wells. They're asking Robin who? Robin Lane, Summer
yeah,
Wells.
Robin Lane, the one whose daughter was recorded in the church and then put all over the internet.
But I'm
And
gonna let
then,
you talk. I just want to throw out that disclaimer.
yeah,
But yeah, I've
I'm not
seen
going to go
it.
into like super detail.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to give some people something to think about as far as like I don't know, maybe
You're fine.
like I'm not like a Wells supporter. I'm a supporter of the truth.
Sure.
And I'm a supporter of like innocent until proven guilty. Understanding that sometimes, if the evidence leads a specific way, then yeah, remove those people from society. But that hasn't happened. But here, all I want to say is this. So the last time that heifer and her pig friends went down there and they raised all kind of hell, I don't know how many people noticed or picked up on how law enforcement let them do that. How the law enforcement was called several times because of the crazy, the yelling, throwing things. And there's a lot of crap that they did that wasn't recorded, to get the shit stirred up. But law enforcement was called, law enforcement showed up, and law enforcement protected those people. There was nothing fair about it. Like, I get that there's a First Amendment right, but at what point is it a conversation that your First Amendment
They
rights
did nothing to diffuse
are going into harassment or public disturbance or any of those things? I mean, the day that they got fired, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a supporter of anything other than Summer Wells in the truth, but they were constantly protected. The day that Robin's daughter was recorded in the church, it very much so was with a pen camera or one of the spy pens. It very much so was. Everybody knew who they were when they came in to the church that day. And then Molly Golightly and the blowed horn, whatever, Betty and Olivia are walking down Robin Street. They doxed her completely. What they didn't show on video was how they walked around her house, banging on all of her doors. I was on the phone with her when they showed up. She was in her bathroom hiding because her daughter was there. And so here's what happened. Like, her daughter, I'm just going to call her Jay because I don't want to say her name. But Jay and Summer were like,
real quick, do you think, Katie, I don't want to cut you off because this is important. Yeah. And guys, in case y'all don't know what's going on, Steph knows Robin. Like, she's been knowing her since long before the baby even went missing.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a very long time. So y'all may have missed that. Katie says, and don't forget your train of thought. Katie says, do you think they protect them so much because the Wells are not wealthy?
Not at this point, no. I think at this point, how do I say this? So I think that in the very beginning of the case, because law enforcement didn't take this case so serious, like they didn't look at the whole big picture. They got tunnel vision on the people that lived up on that hill. Now, let me say, I've never been there. I've never met any of the Wells. I've never met Summer, nothing like that. But, they showed up with search teams and things like that. But when you look at the press conferences, they didn't have to say, we're going to blame the family, but their answers kind of led that way. You know what I mean? Their answers were kind of like, everybody, I'll say it like this.
On the bandwagon too, they did it silently.
Yeah. Right. So today, we're 8 months away. We're 8 months down the road. And so it's a lot easier for law enforcement to stand back and say things like, we're diligently leaving no stone unturned. We're focused, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's easy to say that, but then at the same point, like, their actions just don't support what their mouth is saying. And I say that because, these strangers from other states come into Hawkins County, went into the church with hidden video cameras, recorded a little girl, and then put it online along with her address, along with where her mother worked at, along with, you know, video of what her mother drove, her mother's first and last name, the little girl's name, everything needed for any pedophile to find her.
Right.
Right. And this is her best friend. This is Jay's best friend, Summer, just all of a sudden one day came up missing. And Jay's life has been traumatized everywhere they go. Because how do you explain to a little girl that young, you know, like you I mean, you can't say like abducted, you know, because then it's like, well, when is she coming back? I mean, Robin's handling that very well, but Robin had all the evidence to, I mean, she had, like, I was collecting the clip channels, saving them, giving them to her. She went to the local police department, the sheriff's department, private attorney, and no, you know what they told her?
What?
That the prosecutor would not prosecute. And this is when all of them were still in Hawkins County.
Why wouldn't they do anything?
Good question. So when Ronnie Lawson stands at a podium and says that he's diligently searching for Summer, he's leaving no stone unturned, exploring every avenue, and that they are so focused, it's not going to go cold. They're working on it every day. It's a little bit hard for me to believe that that's what they're doing when Robin handed them everything needed to at least get a restraining order, and they wouldn't even do that.
So she went and they flat out told her they're not going to
absolutely 100%.
Wow.
They all threw it to the process. The prosecutor wouldn't prosecute it. That was their
Can you back up a little bit because I missed it mainly because while you were talking I was thinking the day that the baby was recorded, Robin's daughter was recorded. You said something about somebody who ran in the bathroom. Could you go back over that a little bit?
Yeah. So after the church situation happened, so they went into the church, they recorded Jay and Robin and other kids, and then they left and then they uploaded it, right? And then the next day, there's a video of Molly Golightly and Blowhorn Betty and Olivia walking down the road, down Robin's street, and walking up her driveway. It shows the street, the house number, a full view of her house. There's
for the
actually
apology letter, right?
Yes. What they did not show was how they walked around her house, knocking on the doors, yelling, "Hey, Robin." So before they got there, I was on the phone with Robin because that's when she had just found out that Jay was all over the internet. So she calls me in a panic, and I'm on the phone with her. It was right after church was whenever they went there. It was like maybe 2 hours after church, but she didn't upload it till the next day, right? So she can hear them coming down the driveway.
Wow.
And she starts freaking out on the phone, and her husband is not home. So I said, take Jay, go to the bathroom. That way Jay's not, not witnessing anything because she's already so freaking traumatized. Listen, this little girl will be in the passenger seat or in the back, of the truck or the back seat of the car in her seatbelt and whatever. And at every red light, she will have to hold her mom's hand because she's afraid that, a bad man is going to open the door and try to take her.
Oh my God.
Because of the shit that has gone on.
And you got crazy people coming around the damn house, taking pictures of you on like, oh God.
Yes. And before that, it was like other people that were like,
that's a lot on a baby.
Church. Yes. And that, Summer was like her BFF, you know what I mean? And then, so because the reason that they went to Robin's house and they did all this crap was because Molly had asked Robin to do an interview with her. And Robin said no. She said, nope, I'm not doing it. Because in the very beginning of the case, she worked with law enforcement. There were YouTubers that had come down, and she would, be at like a prayer vigil or whatever. And so somebody would walk up and start talking to her, and she would, answer their questions. And what you see is exactly what Robin is. She's so kind. She's so nice. And she's more afraid of disappointing God than she is making somebody else mad. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. I was in the church for a very long I was in a church for a very long time. and I did exactly what Robin does. And we catered to Vietnam vets, kids with explosive disorder, just poverty-stricken families. And I'm telling you, I had a deacon. Well, I don't know what the deacon. I don't know, but she was a pastor in the church, and it's so funny because like Robin's demeanor. The only thing Robin's ever done that has made me go, "That's weird," was the truck.
Giggles.
But
the truck.
But that's it. But her demeanor and the way she comes off, it doesn't move me around at all because I totally know several people in the church that their life is the Lord, period.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I was talking to my pastor about it one day, and I had started, we were trying to do like, oh crap, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like recovery, drug recovery, but it's called something in the church. We were trying to start up that at our church. And I remember talking to our pastor and to this other lady, I'm not going to say her name, but I told my pastor, I was like, y'all have that good grace. I have the rough grace. And he told me, because they're just so happy and everything's so wonderful. And I was like, oh my God, like when will I ever obtain this? Right. But he's like, your rough grace will speak to people a lot faster than mine will most times because you can identify with you and you can identify with them. He said, I can't identify with a lot of the people we cater to. So your rough grace is very important. So, but I say all that to say, like Robin's demeanor and all that laughing, and it's not fake. I'm telling you, I'm sure she's different off camera to a degree, all that. But at the same time, her bubbly personality, she's not, I don't look at her as a crazy cult person for fuck's sake.
Not at all.
Crap's sake.
Not at all.
But yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to.
She's always positive. She's always happy. I've known her for a very long time. I've never heard her say anything ugly about anybody. Never judgmental, never gossip, nothing of the sort. Never. But the giggling that she does is nervous.
Nervous. My daughter's the same way.
Yeah, she's so
no problem.
She's like so afraid of, well, exactly what happened, you know? Like in the very beginning, you know, she's answering questions thinking that she's talking to like a news reporter, and it's a YouTuber. Right. And they're only putting parts of what she says, not like the whole conversation or whatnot. Like she's not a spokesperson for the Wells family. Right. However, the church did ask her to help Candace with the media because they didn't want, media coming into the church and going all over the church.
Do you want to share a little bit about maybe Robin's role in help? You don't have to. About her role in trying to help Candace with certain things that she might not have learned.
Definitely, I can. So when
it's beautiful insight.
I mean, I think it's a testament to who Robin is. I mean, I love her to death, and I get her because I know her. But like when Don and Candace first came to the church, there's a lot of people that will go to church when they're desperate to like stay out of trouble or like they've hit rock bottom and they need help and that kind of thing. And so they're used to people, coming and asking for things, and then the church helps them and then they don't come back. But there was something different about Don and Candace. And, not only did Summer gravitate towards, Robin, but Robin and Candace had they were developing a very special friendship because when people look at Candace, they're so quick to judge her, but they don't see beyond her. So we're a product of our environment. So if you grow up in a home and your mom is not like a loving, doting mother who reads you bedtime stories, who cooks 3 meals a day, who takes you to church on Sunday, takes you to swim classes or ballet classes or whatnot. If you don't grow up in that neighborhood or in that home, you don't know that life. You grow up and you can relate to and you learn the life, the environment that you grow up in, especially if you don't finish school, and your mom's not telling you right from wrong when it comes to drinking or boys or that kind of thing. And so where people are so quick to judge Candace, because we're just human beings and we seem to be judgmental. It goes deeper than that. And so Robin didn't just love Summer. Robin loved the whole family. And so Don and Candace really wanted their marriage to work and to be strong, and they wanted to be, involved with church. They wanted a strong faith. They wanted to bring their children up the right way.
Well, and a lot of she didn't like things like she didn't know how to be a mother of a daughter, how to do this, how to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Like if you see how how Candace's mother is, and then you see Candace, it kind of makes sense why, she dresses the way that she does and she talks and carries herself the way that she does. So Robin, Summer gravitated towards Robin because Summer, wanted to be girly sometimes and a tomboy other times. And so, Robin spending time with Candace, kind of showing her the parts of being a mother that she didn't get growing up. Does that make sense?
100%.
Saying it the right way?
No, yeah, I totally agree. If you don't have it and you ain't taught it, you don't got it.
Right.
You can only be given something that the person has to give.
Right. Like if you, I'm just going to
Kim,
say
I agree. Kim says, thank you, Steph May. We need to hear this. Thank you so much. Kim, 100%. I've talked to Steph behind the scenes, and I've been on this, I'm not tooting my own horn, but sometimes integrity is just a little bit more important.
Absolutely.
It is important because this church, Robin, this family, they've all, just take the church.
Yeah.
We're trying to help. I'm going to go top my coffee off. Just keep talking. I'll be right back.
I feel so bad for sitting silent for so long because of my own selfish needs. I got so comfortable lurking that I really didn't get the urge or feel that I had a place to speak out on behalf of my friend who was being attacked until my friend was attacked. And then I really just felt like a terrible friend because I let my grief, kind of become a comfortable blanket of lurking in the chat. And then, I don't know, maybe I could have done something sooner. I'm not sure, but I hate the way people judge or they look at this family that they don't know. I mean, when it comes to Summer's disappearance alone, let me first say I don't know anything about anything. I never met any of the Wells. I have seen as much of them as everybody else has. And I only know the things that you guys know aside from conversations with Robin. But let me say it like this. When you got law enforcement letting strangers come into their county and secretly record a little girl who's traumatized already and put her on the internet and they take the evidence. I emailed dumpster clips and got the actual clips, that were unedited for Robin to take to law enforcement, and they, prosecutor won't do anything. So long story short,
what does that say? There's
exactly
contributors, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. Now tell me this. In the very beginning, if law enforcement would have came out and not, focused so much on the family, but would have looked at the other avenues, maybe they would have had a jump start on it. But it's pretty convenient today that they will let strangers come into their community and cause an absolute ruckus everywhere they go, but not intervene and not protect the family who's already been ripped to shreds. Why would that be? I think because Don and Candace are in this position, the only people that they can go to for help are law enforcement. If law enforcement has let them down, they're not going to say that. But if they let the public,
you're right. They're
the public,
in the hole. That's all they got.
That's right. In the very beginning, they had their minds set up, right? So now they've got the public all looking at Don and Candace. They've got the public ripping them to shreds. They've got the public going on their property, the public smearing their name. Their lives are hell as it is. And now the public is coming after them. And if law enforcement, who is the only people in the position to put their foot down and say, you don't have to agree with what we're doing, and you don't have to agree that we're investigating, you don't have to whatever, but you are not going to harass this family. You're not going to stalk this family. And they never did that. My theory, this isn't Robin's or anybody else's, mine only. My theory is that's their way of avoiding the hard questions as to why are we 8 months down the road and you're still answering every question the same freaking way that you did day one.
Wow.
How are you thoroughly searching for Summer Wells, leaving no stone unturned? How are you dedicated to this case when you let strangers come into a private church with notes outside that say no videos, no recording, no photos on property?
And they actually had somebody willing to prosecute. Robin
Absolutely.
did. She finally,
100%.
out of that whole thing, finally said enough is
100%.
enough. And I feel like a lot of the times, like with Dawn, like I feel like maybe they don't pursue some of it because they know they contribute to it. I don't mean that ugly. I don't mean to. I'm not judging the family, but come on, cut the shit. Dawn completely contributed to a lot of this by him contacting continuously these problematic people.
100%.
You know,
100%. And you know, I'm yes, Don is an adult, and he's responsible for what he says and does. Let me paint this picture for you. So, your child is missing, and then the state comes in and they remove, you know, your other 3 children, right? Excuse me. And they're telling you it's because it's not safe there because there's people all over and blah blah blah, right? So then you call law enforcement when you go to the police department or the sheriff's department, and you're asking them for updates, or you're telling them what your heart tells you. Like, I would like for you to, you know, to check this avenue or maybe talk to this person. And law enforcement does not do it. And then, excuse me. So then you reach out to YouTubers because it seems like they're more interested in your daughter and her disappearance than the local news is, because the local news has to go through law enforcement to talk to you, right? But every time you talk to a YouTuber, they tell you that they're, you know, not really on your team, but they want to know what happened and they want you to get your voice and your story out there because you're not getting it out there. And then that person shits on you. And then the next person shits on you. And before long, there's memes about you and there's jokes about you. And everybody is so focused on you. You know, I know what it's like to get a phone call in the middle of the afternoon. I know what it's like to call my son on the phone and say, are you coming home? Are you staying at the property? And he says, I'm going to stay at the track with my friends. And I hang up the phone. And then 30 minutes later, I get a phone call. And they're like, you got to go to the hospital. There's been an accident. And I get to the hospital, and it's just like in the movies when you're running through the freaking hallway, like, you know, looking for, where's my son's room at? And like the water's parts, and everybody knows what's going on but you. And then somebody points to a room, and you open the door, and like your kid is dead on a freaking table with tubes coming out of his body. And everybody is standing there staring at you. And no
it's
matter
like you're in a movie, everything's in slow motion, ain't it?
Yes, I'll never forget a second of it.
My son died when he was 2 months old, and they had to resuscitate him. But that's all I remember. It's like the woman was like, when newborns get sick, you have to act fast. And she was talking to me. I could hear them over the intercom. I can't even. Maybe I don't need to tell this. This story, it always puts me into some kind of freaking crazy, just thinking about it now. He's 18
anxiety.
And yes, but she's like respiratory. They were calling respiratory over the loudspeaker, and they was telling him what room to go to. I knew my son was in that room, but the way people were looking at me,
they know
I was responding. It was so surreal. I'll never forget it. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, and I definitely cannot identify. But as far as being in that moment and the way the world looks,
it's so surreal. You never forget it. It's just like the movies, and you know it's coming. Look, when I left my house to go to the hospital where he was at, no lie on everything I love and care about, I got to the end of like this. We lived in a house in the lake, so it was like all the winding roads. And so I get to where the boat docks are, and my car just made a right. and turned into this little like turnaround. And my brain was like, what are you doing? You got to get to the hospital. They don't know anything about your son. And it sounded bad. You got to get there now.
Right.
And this, what, I don't know what it was, but like my mouth opened and the sound come out of my mouth, and my chest just felt like I was drained of everything, and the most immense pain in my chest, and then just like that it was gone, and then the car was moving again. You know what I mean? It was weird. And then I get to the hospital and all of that stuff happens, and I screamed at everybody in the room, do something. What are you standing there?
Oh my God.
Fix him. Just begging them to do something. And they all look at me like, we did what we could do. And they did.
Wow.
I know what that's like. And I know what it's like to have to pick out a casket and a cemetery plot and to do it in the public. I know what it's like to do it not in the public because he was a professional athlete. So I had reporters outside of my house for a month. Everywhere I went, they followed me for a month. They would call me, Dirt Rider Magazine, Mini Rider Magazine. Just everywhere I went, they didn't want to know anything about my son.
Took a lot of this heat, and it wasn't even your fault.
Right.
So imagine if you were under a scope of it could potentially be, you know, like,
right.
And you're getting a lot of support in the chat. I just want to let you know, and there's a lot of love and support.
I mean, I appreciate that very much. But this is why I thought it was necessary to speak out, because people don't. I really hope that no one ever.
Don't worry, Stephanie.
My side.
Not a whole lot of people will see it, but the people that matter will. I love my community. It's organic. That's the main thing I love about it.
I've always noticed that about your channel. It's very organic, very truth, and very real. There's not any like drama bullshit that goes on over here. And so I've always lurked over here.
Sometimes.
I mean, occasionally somebody's got to get put in their place, but like it's not one person that they go up against. It's like these are Bieber's rules, and if you can't follow them, then you got to go.
Yeah, and I'm too wound, too tight. I care too much about what people think, which I'm supposed to, you know. But at the same time, I'm very guarded. There's so much I want to say sometimes, but I don't want to bog people down with all the shit that everybody else is talking about, you know.
Yeah.
But this is important.
I mean, that's why
You're
I like
right.
your channel.
It is important because people don't know. And like this church, there's a cult. There's this. There's that. There's it. Like, okay, yeah, they're a cult. Yeah, sure.
Like, it's just so negative all the time. Like people are just so focused on the negative, you know. If there's like something negative about somebody, they're all about it. But if there's, you know, I mean, people are so focused on talking about, you know, Don Wells getting a DUI. I'm kind of like, I remember how many days I just wanted to grab a bottle of something and drink until I couldn't feel anything else. And I never had it as bad as they have it. I mean, the whole world is against them. Their kids are taken from them. They don't know where summer's at. And let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you heard people say that Ben Hill Road or that area up there is like party central?
Yeah, but I've heard somebody say it's not.
Have you? I've never heard anyone say
Ronnie
that.
Lawson. There's no drugs on that.
Oh, Ronnie Lawson can suck a fat one because he's a liar. I
know, right?
I don't trust him at all. I know what Robin has told me, and Robin doesn't go there that often. Robin goes there to drop stuff off to them or to pick stuff up from them.
Right.
And that's it, because she's not comfortable going not to their house, but going up that road and in that general area because there's a lot of partiers. How many sex offenders live near there? And I'm not saying like sex offender like that, but like it's just a bad neighborhood. It's not the neighborhood people are going to like go and specifically look for a house there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a lot of people that live on that road that are partiers. They drink and drive. They don't have driver's license. You know, it's kind of, I don't want to say like the wrong side of the tracks because I don't like stereotypes and things like that. I mean, I work on the track, so she's not a right or wrong side. But it's kind of like, to me, what makes sense, and like I said, this is me, just from listening. This is not Robin or anybody else talking. This is just me. But it makes sense to me that Summer come out of that house and either followed the dogs or had a toy, you know, down the hill there by the road or whatever, and just kind of, you know, hyper bebopping around. So they have a footprint like 0.4 miles from their house, I think, and 0.8,
Two
I think,
separate
back in case it said.
footprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doesn't it seem a little bit feasible before anybody says no, because there would be blood? I'll tell you about my son's accident. It seems feasible to me that Summer could have come out of that house, either went down the dog trail, down the driveway, however, but somehow towards the road, maybe looking for the dog, maybe to get a toy, I don't know, and then just walked, you know, maybe went for a little walk, looking for a ball, looking for a specific toy, and maybe got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And maybe it's somebody who either was a sex offender or didn't have a driver's license. Maybe they were drunk or drugged up.
Yep.
Maybe they had such a bad record that they were going to go straight to jail or have to explain why they have a 5-year-old little girl unconscious or something like that.
Yeah.
And before anybody says no, my son.
No, I thought of that too.
Okay. I've said this to people and they're like, oh no, there would be blood everywhere. I'm like, I bathed my son's body before he went to organ donation and did not let the nurse do it. And he was not only hit by a truck, but ran over in his chest by a truck. His best friend was driving, and it was an accident, but there was no blood or broken skin.
Wow.
There was no crazy crushing. His body, you know, when they're born and we count their toes and their fingers.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Right.
And every inch of him, I had to know that he was okay. And I know that makes no sense.
No, I was just sitting here thinking, listening to you, like, even more of a get up and fix him. He didn't even look broken.
Right. And he was hit. He was on a little pit bike. He was a professional motocross racer. He'd put the big bikes up. He was on a little bitty pit bike. His best friend was in his truck. And the best friend was backing down the driveway. Cody was going up the driveway, kind of a steep hill with a sharp curve. And I had called him and said, are you coming home? Or are you going to stay there? And we talked for a few minutes, hung up the phone. He said, Mom, I got to get up there because, his friend's name, he might get the wrong wood, and then my craft wood versus, you know, the firewood.
Right.
Okay, so he takes off, and there's, you know, video cameras out there. I didn't watch them. The State Highway Patrol did, but it was like the perfect storm kind of thing.
Wow.
But he jerks the wheel, goes over the handlebars, you know, lands. His whole back side landed on the back of the truck, and then he landed on the ground, and then, you know, the wheels went over top of his chest. And when the nurse came in that night and said, you know, we need to get him washed up, I said, you can sit in the corner and watch me, but I gave him his first bath, I'll give him his last bath, and it's not up for debate. And I took the wash basin and I washed his body and stayed with him until organ donation. And he did not have anything other than bruising. And it was nothing like.
That's crazy.
People would, you know, it's not what I would have thought.
Right.
I mean, I needed to make sure that he was all there, you know. But his skin was not broken in any place. He was just bruised.
That is.
I could tell that his arm was broke. So, if, you know, if somebody's driving drunk or not paying attention or reaching for a phone and Summer got hit, there might not be blood everywhere. I don't even like saying it like that.
I know.
But if that person had been in trouble with the law, or maybe a sex offender, and they would have to explain how they had a 5-year-old child that's unconscious, or, you know what I mean? Anything. That initial panic, the same panic I had when I saw him laying in the bed, not moving, not breathing, and everybody standing around and looking at me, I would imagine that it, you know, if you're a felon and you have a terrible record, and maybe you're a drunk or a sex offender, and
Right.
you hit a child, you might have that same reaction. So you're
I even
reacting to
thought,
fear.
like, I don't know, maybe may sound silly, but I thought, you know, maybe she got a little snippet with her brothers. I'm out of here, you know, because
Yeah.
they say she was so sassy, and that she
Yeah, that's
kept the
what I
boys
heard
in
too.
line, you know. And I just remember, you know, I had a brother, and I'm out of here, you know, like
Yeah, it takes
"Oh,
off.
I'm crazy, I'm running away, you know, like in this dramatic fashion, and then, you know, vanished, or, you know, obviously
For
not. But
sure.
yeah, I mean, or
And
I even thought she went down the stairs, she come out the back door, she went around, and in her swing, like, even in my mind, I can see it, you know.
yeah,
And then there's the accident theory, you know, like, I don't know, you know, I mean, to me, in my mind, she was taken or it was an accident, one of the two.
yeah,
But I mean, that's broad, but that's really what the
right,
evidence, little to no evidence, but, you know.
right. And then, you know, anybody that lives in that area could have picked her up, and so they could be gone in a minute before law enforcement ever shows up to
Yeah,
go and,
well,
you
at
know,
least within 8 days before they
right,
started, you know, policing their own community and seeing what's going on.
right,
Now, I'm not saying they weren't having, I mean, there was 2,000 searchers, 121 organizations. I mean, but like I said, the same organizations outside of the county is the
right.
same ones, TBI, and the search teams around Tennessee. Uh,
Mhm.
Joe Clyde Daniels, which is never been recovered. His dad did get convicted, which I
Oh
really
yeah, yeah,
feel like in another county, they wouldn't have gotten that conviction so easily. To me,
for sure.
I mean, there was a lot of different evidence. Now, mom's got
Right.
to go on trial. You know, I don't know how that's going to turn out. But same thing with Evelyn Boswell. Now, which is one county over from Hawkins, Kingsport. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
but oh yeah, that's Evelyn Boswell's the reason I started this channel. I
didn't know it was that close to
Oh
Hawkins.
yeah, it's literally, it's right there. But they come, like, it's literally one. As a matter of fact, Sharfy, whatever. He lives
Uh-huh.
on the same road as Megan Boswell's family, where
Oh
they
shit.
found Evelyn's body in a shed.
Mm.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the screen, there was a screen. Well, let me ask you something.
Mhm.
Have, if you can, you know,
Mhm.
what, if anything, how has all the speculation, you know, and everything with the cult and just like with the church, I mean,
Oh gosh.
how devastating, obviously,
Ah.
church, right? And to
Yeah.
her character in general, you know, she's been
Well,
persecuted. Robin,
they used.
particularly, as far as people outside
Yes,
the family, immediate.
absolutely. I mean, so Robin's dad passed away last year, which the whole situation with like the truck and the flyers and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Robin was told that the truck, that they were no longer looking for the truck because they had cleared that. She was definitely told that
Right.
because Robin was devastated by Summer's disappearance. Robin still is devastated by Summer's disappearance.
Oh, I bet.
Robin is stuck trying to help her daughter understand and not be afraid, trying to, you know, be a wife and a mother, trying to be, you know, faithful to the church demands, you know, like praise and worship and outside activities and things like that. Well, they don't do that
Kara.
anymore. They don't do a whole lot of community stuff that they used to do because just the constant attacks. I mean, we've only seen a little bit of it on YouTube, but there are so many YouTubers that have gone down there. Like they had to put the signs outside that say no videotaping allowed, and
Oh, it's
people have
insane.
violated
When
that.
they reel them in, that they reel
Yeah.
them, you know exactly what they did to this family. They did the exact same thing to Xavier. They, yeah,
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
talk to you. Yeah, we'll handle your case. And the minute mom doesn't want to comply, or she's not okay with that, or no, you get something wrong. Well,
Yes.
you suck, and we're gonna do this, and but exactly like what you said, that, you know, the reason why they went to the house is because she wanted the interview, and Robin declined.
Yep.
110.
Yep. Robin told her no.
Exactly what happened to
Robin
Xavier,
told.
to Xavier's mom. And then you got this idiot Kendall lady. I'm not going to dip into it. I'm trying to get better in my resentments. But you got her. To this day, she's got a recording of Xavier's mother threatening to whoop her ass. Well, ma'am, exactly how did you come about getting this threat from a mother of a missing child, which is now deceased? What did you do to bring her to that point? Oh, she's unhinged. She's a crazy kid killer. No, bitch. You don't know what boundaries are. Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I get so animated. I will not allow myself.
She's a mother.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe she's a mother. Let me tell you something.
It's
the
awful.
Day that I heard a recording of that bitch saying, about the candle.
I don't need permission. He's dead. I don't need
tell you what,
permission. He's dead, man.
I had earbuds in, and I was walking through my house going into the kitchen, and I fell and hit my fucking knees, and I cried.
Good night, Sea Turtle. Thanks for hanging out, honey.
I didn't even know this baby or his family, but I hit my knees and I cried that somebody would have the audacity or would assign themselves the right to speak that way about a child that was murdered.
Man.
And then to find out she's a mother, that bitch would have no fucking teeth.
Listen, man,
near me.
I'm telling you, man, it's insane. Like, these people think they're untouchable.
I have no respect whatsoever.
And I literally, like 2 weeks ago, no, it's been longer than that. When did I finally decide to, man, because they found Xavier's body. I've been trying to be so respectful. I literally talk to his mother still to this day, every 3 days, like clockwork. She shoot me a message. I'll check in on her, and it's just be supportive. But I just had to tell her about this damn Feet Fables thing and how her son is listed as a freaking actor in some sick pervert, perverse, video. It's just so weird. And he's listed as an actor for a video. I mean, I hated telling her. Like,
and can you imagine how numb a parent has to be?
It's her child. It's on the internet. People are looking it up, and doing whatever. And it's a lot of weird stuff connected to the Feet Fable stuff, like weirdo shit, really weirdo shit. But I had to tell her, and it was hard. And then I guess it was like she's like, I'm sick of it. She had her, she had her moment and she responded as she should. But so like, I don't know, 4 days after that, she messages me. She's like, I've been on the internet. You know what? I don't like this. We need legislation. So, and I thought, please don't go looking for pain. Stay off of it.
You'll find it.
Looking at comments, looking at videos as to where she had to completely put it down because she is already dealing with the loss of her child. And they still don't have a person. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's grim. It's fucking grim, man.
Now let me tell you, like, the grieving parent side of it. When you're around your family, you have to learn how to not say their name or not talk about them, because the mere mention of your child's name will clear a room and leave you alone and make you the outcast.
Well, let me tell you something else too. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
That's all right.
I think Sarah's story is important too, because man, she got hounded, and you know what? But listen, it was Xavier and her in that house, in that trailer home. It was them. It was them too. They were in each other's lives for years and years and years, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. So, she may or may not have made the best decisions with who was around him. We don't know who did it. We don't have a clue. We don't really know, right? So, but what comes with that is not only is the public looking at her sideways, they're vocal about it, but she's got her own family. She's got people that don't know, you know what I mean?
Lord have mercy.
And like
she can't even go to the grocery store without
do anything. Well, and she's disabled too. People are like, oh, she did something. She is missing a leg and she didn't have a vehicle at the time. So I mean, that alone to me, speaks volumes, but whatever.
Right.
But even Christmas, she spent Christmas, she didn't want to be around nobody. Why? She didn't want to make everybody else sad. And God forbid you grow up in a jacked up environment, or you have some mental illness, or you don't handle life the way that other people feel like you should. Now that's it. You're a baby killer. Like, it's
Mhm.
so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. I can only relate to like living alone and you not really having a family. You know, I really don't have any kind of a family or anything like that. I totally get it with not buying Christmas trees or celebrating any holiday. I didn't even know my birthday came and went. My birthday's in January. I had no idea my license. I was driving around for a month on expired license. Didn't even know it.
Oh wow.
I mean, I go days without hearing my own voice. I don't talk to a human being. And that just becomes your life. You just learn to live in complete isolation and solitude because of the mere sight of you makes people uncomfortable. But see, people like Xavier's mother are people that I draw strength from,
Oh, me
and
too.
I admire, and I cry for them, and then I feel like it's almost like a self check. It's almost like a kick in my ass because I know what happened to my son. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had that talk with him in his casket where I said, why were you being so stupid?
Right.
Him and his best friend. I hugged them both and I said, you are so stupid and careless. I'm not mad at his
Right.
best friend. I love him dearly. I've never been mad at him. An accident is an accident. But I know what happened to him, and she doesn't. Not only that, but the idea that somebody harmed your baby and is walking the street, and the law enforcement has no intention on doing anything, and they don't have to because the public is so against you that there's nobody that's going to hold them accountable
Exactly.
for not doing their job. Because if you go to them and say, what in the fuck are you doing?
Right.
My baby has been murdered. They don't have to do anything because the public is against you.
Right. I mean, and
I don't
you
know what
when
that's
she
like.
did
That's
freak out, or like when she come and she talked to me for the hour, that was, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And even like, there was a point after they found him where she messages me and she's like, long story short, but she was trying to say, do you think that they would just like let it go unsolved? And I told her, no, I don't want to think that. I would like to think that the sheriff's office, they would not want that on their record. They want to, that is one case you want to make sure that you solve. But his case was so mishandled, in my opinion. It was completely mishandled. So many different ways from Sunday.
It
I
was.
probably got about 10 minutes and then I'm gonna probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
My eyes are starting to pop a little bit. But
I see Kim Holmes put in the chat here. I would have lost it on one of them a long time ago.
Yes,
So
yes,
the
Kim.
day that those heifers were down there at Don Wells' job site, probably the same thing with Xavier Harrelson's mom being anywhere and people are attacking her. Don Wells, I think Candace probably more than Don. If it weren't for the situation that they've been forced into because of the public allowed to attack them all the time.
Right.
I feel like Candace probably would have got out of the car and beat the holy fuck out of Molly Golightly on camera and enjoyed it.
Candace.
I wouldn't. No way. That she's got. Not only is she badass, but can you imagine how much hatred and anger she has in her?
Oh my God.
Like, I don't want her flipping on me, but Molly deserves it.
Yeah.
But they knew, and nobody told me this. I'm just common sense, If they would have done anything out of the way, if they would have
Kim, if
defended
you wanted to
themselves,
send me, I'm listening. Let's see. Kim
They're
said
attacked.
another case in Tuscaloosa, 11-year-old Heaven Ross disappeared on her way to school bus. Her remains were found 4 years later, never solved, and parents, siblings are still crucified. Wow. Well, look at Ryan Larson. They,
Oh, yeah.
they're the sweetest. That mom, my God, like how could you watch her and not just?
Yeah.
And let me say this too. Alicia Navarro, I don't know if you're familiar with her case, but let me tell you something. This mother, she dedicated her entire life. I know it was like close to the 2-year mark. And our mother was like, I had to make myself go back to work. I had to make myself do this. I had to make myself do that. But let me tell you, when I tell you that she says, hey, because her daughter's a teenager and she left a little note. Well, she was lured out. I mean, and this is a common theme. You'll see it with teenagers or whatever. They will have an online presence, and then over, anywhere from a week to a month to 2 months, really just the determination of the predator. They will develop this relationship. She was high functioning autistic, and she left a note. I'll be back. I promise I'll be back. And she left. Well, she left on her own accord. And this is a huge common theme that's been happening with these trafficking situations. And she's in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. But
open borders.
Yeah, right there. There you go. They did not initially rush to the mother's side. So when I tell you that this mother was out walking the damn back alleys, crack houses, looking, lurking for her kid. She's got other kids in the house. Alicia, not that there is a way a mother should look for a missing child, but if there was a poster child for a missing mother, it would be Jessica Nunez. She has fought and fought and fought and fought. And not only does she fight for hers, now she fights for others. I've sent her several stories and she shared it on her platform. She's our age, which I don't know how old you are. I assume you're close to my age, but she figured out the TikToks. Yeah, I'm 42. She figured out the TikTok. She got on TikTok and she pushing her daughter's mess. I mean, I got chills just talking to, oh man, I would love to have her come on one day and just share her, story, but, or just
that's kind of what I want to get into.
Her hope,
Yeah, that I couldn't imagine. See, those are the things that I draw strength from. That I I can't imagine. Like, listen, I can't imagine losing a child. I can't imagine burying a child or living the rest of my life without a child. But we don't get a choice. It's you don't get to pick. You don't even get a conversation. You don't even get a chance to beg your life for your child. It's just you don't get to decide shit. It just happens. But it's like I can't imagine it. It's still
like you just don't know.
Yeah, no.
And it was right when COVID happened, so everybody's in a mask, and God, it's just.
Yeah, it didn't do any good.
I can't. I bet her mother just stays up at night, wondering where she's at, what she looks like. Yeah, I mean, and she was on medication. You know what I mean? Like, she was on medication. She was high functioning autistic, and and her mother didn't. And that's something else too. Her mother talks about now is internet safety, because she didn't know a lot. She didn't know that her daughter was being preyed on. She didn't know, and they've been able to track IP address, stuff like that. I mean, to no avail. Because these people are so sophisticated and they're savvy, and they know exactly what they're doing. They knew what they were getting with her. I know. I mean, maybe I'll do another dive. I like to think, but her story's incredible.
We like to wrap ourselves in the security that law enforcement is smarter than criminals, but the truth is they're not. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. We wouldn't have people come up missing. We wouldn't have cold cases.
True Helper says, "OMG, the thought of burying one of our boys literally makes me tear up and want to curl out of my skin." That's the biggest fear I had when I was younger, and I can't remember. It had me thinking about it, but I remember it was
Yeah, like True Helper. I remember being before the railroad. I was a paramedic, and when my son was racing at dirt bike tracks, locally, I remember always volunteering to work the squad so I could be there. And there was 3 or 4 different accidents where, a kid was severely injured. I mean, we flew the kid, to a trauma hospital because our little rinky-dink hospital just didn't have, anything. And it never dawned on me that could be my kid. It never dawned on me that my kid could die at a track. I mean, he got his pro license. I'm still very thankful that I was there, that I supported him and sacrificed and got to watch him, rack up his points and chase them all over the country. And, he sponsored riders. He was living his dream. I got to watch him set goals and achieve them. And there's so many kids that don't get that. I had such a special bond with him that, at 21, he was 21 years, 9 months, and 29 days when he passed away.
Wow.
So he was, technically grown, but he's still my baby.
You mean some of the crazy stuff that I think? I
What's
this
that?
I know this is gonna sound I thought earlier, don't say that on the internet. People will think you're nuts. But
Oh,
I just know what
I'm.
kind of God we have. And I know
Mhm.
like most of the hell that I've been through, it has prepared me for something greater. And in the same turn, I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh my God, what if you having a bond with these moms that have lost their children? What if that means like,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Preparing you.
go away, Satan. Not today, Satan.
Yeah.
Get the hell out
Oh
of here.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, your mind will play so many tricks on you,
Yes.
and I mean, losing a child as a parent's absolute worst nightmare. Nobody wants to think about it. I can imagine, with what you're doing every day, all the time, it has to cross your mind regularly. But
Yes, sometimes, but I also know that the devil will screw with me 100%.
that's right. That's
100%.
right.
You know,
And
if
God,
I allow negative thoughts and all this other stuff,
right.
and no, dummy, maybe you do this because you have always had a passion for children's
Yeah.
rights and everything else.
You're a
Maybe
mother.
just
You're a
maybe this will
nurturer.
help you cross the bridge from, like I'm telling you, I've learned so much from Sarah Xavier's mom. I've just learned so much, and it has changed me. Just like I told you
I'm
about the
sure.
one parent that I talked about her daughter's death. It was one time I talked about it, and I was very harsh, which,
Mhm.
in my mind, being a rational thinker, critical thinker, and all the context clues around, I mean, yeah, there's a reason why I led up to that, but I was wrong.
Mhm.
I was fucking wrong, man. And this woman cussed me up one side down the other, and I deserved it 100%. And I was wrong. And I can't even apologize to her enough for how bad I felt. And she was like going on and on, and I was like, ma'am, that was a year ago. I have done 257 videos since then.
Right.
I mean, but
Let it
she was
go,
right.
lady.
She was 100% right, and whether it is your fault or not, me, have no fucking clue what it's like to lose a kid, whether it's my fault or not. So who the
Right.
fuck am I?
Absolutely.
I had to, listen, I'm not above any fucking thing. I definitely make mistakes. And,
Right. Yeah, we
and
all do.
I fucked
But
up.
there's some people out there that, like if you don't move through the grief, if you don't, and it's not like normal grief. It's you can hit every phase in one day. I mean, but if you don't consistently work through it and move through it and acknowledge what you're doing or not doing, it will hold you. It will hold you stagnant, and then you will get so lost wherever you're at that you will not get back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to acknowledge. There's some people that I have met in this grief life that they're so comfortable in anger that that's their go-to.
Right.
Anytime they're not comfortable, anytime they're complacent, anytime they're afraid.
Yeah, I was like, I was talking to my husband about, I mean, I felt bad. Like, I really felt, if I didn't think about it, I'll cry because, like, I'm so ashamed, like, once I
You
went back
shouldn't
and
be.
looked, but
We're
I was,
human.
yeah, I was telling my husband though, he was like, how did she find you? Like, nobody talked about that case. Like, and I said, she went looking for pain and she found it. And guess what?
Yeah.
She gave it right to me. And that's okay. Because like I said,
Right.
whether it is your fault or not, anybody's fault or not, end result's the same. It's a deceased child. I have no
Right.
experience in that. I
Oh
have
yeah.
no right, like, flat out, I was wrong,
Here's what I've learned to do. I'll tell you this, and I'll let you go. Here's what I learned to do. I went to a grief counseling, like a grief counseling, one time only. And I walked in, and I heard all these, other moms and dads tell their stories. I cried with them. I laughed with them. Never did I judge them or anything of the sort. Like, it's just a whole different world. The connection was so different, I thought. And so the director says, well, everybody has to speak. And the only thing I was comfortable with was like, everybody's here. They all said their kid's name, and nobody left. So I'm going to say his name, by God.
Right.
So they talk about, your child and whatnot. And this bitch in the back of the room, okay, had to stand up. And she said, you's the one that was on the news, huh? And I said,
shut up.
are you kidding me right now? I'm going to lay bitch out right now. It's the first time I said his name. It's the first time I was confident in talking about him. You gonna ruin that shit for me, bitch? I don't think so.
Right.
And I said, yeah, that was me. And I kind of sat back down, and she said, so what? Because you think he was on TV. And I said, no, I don't think anything. I think he's deceased just like your daughter is deceased. And I'm here because we're supposed to come here to learn how to handle this shit. And she said, well, it said in the news that he done broke his arm and his leg and even his neck one time. And I said, well, he didn't break his neck, but yeah, he broke his collarbone, his arm a few times, his leg. He always started the school year with a broken bone. What's the point?
It's the occupation. I mean, that's
right.
part of it. Yeah.
And she said, so you didn't know it would kill him one day?
Oh my, what?
I said, well, okay. No, I didn't know. So when I gave birth, I had to look between his toes or his butt crack or under his nutsack for that expiration date.
Right.
So I didn't know that. But I do know that had I taken that bike away from him, which was his outlet for life, his confidence, his love, if I could talk to him right now and say, Cody, if there's one thing that you can have with you right now, what would it be? He's not going to say, you, Mom. He's going to say, can I have my Honda? I know this. I know this about him. He's going to say, I love you, Mom. I'm with you whenever I can be. I'm here. I check in on you. But I really just want the panty dropper. Can I just have my bike? I know exactly what he would say.
It's funny you said panty dropper.
That's what he named it.
New cologne. That's what he would call it. I got me some panty dropper cologne.
Yeah.
So funny. He said, I want my bike. Give me my panty dropper.
Yeah, that's exactly what he would say. He would be like, another bike. And I wanted to go across the room and punch that bitch so hard in the face. But I knew that I'd go to jail because I was so angry and hurt and just like, how dare you?
It just shows you how fucking miserable they are.
Yeah. So I got in my car and I left, I got kicked out that day because my mom got away with me. Yeah. I was told not to come back, but I left.
You can shoot me a DM. I will put this fucking group on blast.
I was pissed.
I'm joking.
I was so mad. So I was driving home, and that's when I got angry. And I was just like, why did this happen, God? Why did you let this happen? There's people that are so mean to kids. There's rapists. There's murderers. My son was so good. He studied the Bible. He prayed on the gate before every race. Like, he was so happy and positive. Like, why? And it took me about 2 weeks to remember that we have been given the gift of free will. And God doesn't always make things happen, and he doesn't prevent things from happening. We have free will, and things happen. But as long as we live the right way, and we believe, and we have love in our heart, and we're, moving towards in a positive direction, we're contributing and we're helping, then we don't have to worry about, where we're going to go. You know what I mean? People that are angry, I feel like they're hurt people. It's not an excuse, but
True.
I want to knock that bitch right through the freaking window behind
True Helper says, I may have to pull a Wayne Brady. Sorry, not sorry. And Cat Eye says, what is the Wayne Brady? Why don't you enlighten her? I know it's isn't it a clothesline or something? I know who he is. He's a football player, right? I can't remember.
Wayne Brady, he's the guy on. Wayne Brady is the guy on he's a comedian. He's the guy that was on Drew Carey's show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
He's hilarious.
Well, I'm way wrong. Well, tell me what it is too, huh? That is right. Cat Eyes, I'm right there with you. I'm completely I just lost my whole stream. I don't even know what happened. I have no clue it's a comic. Kim says it's a comic. Listen, True Helper, some of us ain't smart about dumb hit computer. Yeah.
He's a comedian.
Oh. I'm over here. He's a football player, quarterback for a team that don't fucking exist because you made all that shit up. Oh. Well, maybe next time on Tales of the What the Fuck, you can come over here and explain shit to us, True Helper, and everybody else who knows.
Oh gosh, who said that?
True Helper. Me and Cat Eyes are over here in the bleachers. Like, what fucking game are we at? That is what funny. Is it though? So what does he do? Well, you know what? Like this. Let me just look. We're gonna cat eyes. We're gonna end on this. We're gonna look at something, and then let me see.
Did he tell anybody what it is?
No. Let's see. Let me see. I imagine he's violent or something. Let me see. I'm looking it up. Oh, well, I know who that is. I totally know who that is.
Oh, he was my favorite on that that show.
Yeah. America's, or yeah, let's see. Wayne Brady, baby Wayne Brady, military. Let me look up Wayne Brady violent. Let's look up this fight. We'll just do this. Let's see what comes up. The top, Wayne Brady on the top. Let's see. Is this it? Panic here. Boy beef Wayne Brady at the pop. Oh wait. Whoa, I can't stand them Island Boys. Oh, please tell me I'm about to see one of them get clocked. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Jail I'm looking at. Please tell me that I'm about to be so excited. Damn Russian bots. I need to take a break, man. They're pissing me off. When I start at mute.
I saw something on those that they're
Let's see. Island Boys.
Stealing
I've
people's
been looking
channels
up
or
shit
something.
with them. Wayne Brady was a reference to Dave Chappelle clip. Oh. Well, that's not even. Well, fuck it. I've already got this pulled up. We're gonna watch this. I think it says Island Boys beef with Wayne Brady at Paul versus. It's only 59 seconds. Let's see.
Motherfuckers.
Oh.
Shit.
These guys are beyond punchable. And Island Boy, like, where do these fucking? Unfortunately, yes, Bieber does know who the fuck the Island Boys are. I'm so sorry to say. Every part of YouTube, I promise you, I've been there. What up, Libby? Hello. Okay, I'm gonna push play, and then yeah, I don't think they fight. No, this ain't big. How many views has this got before I even want to watch it? Let me see. 900. This ain't big. This ain't no news. Sorry to bore y'all. I thought I was about to see these punk asses getting knocked the fuck out. Well, okay. Let me look up. What was it? What did he say? Dave Chappelle. Let's see. Wayne. Let's see. There we go. Here we go. It popped right up. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Let me share screen. See, I can see what I'm looking at. Maybe. My computer is having a sad. Okay, here we go. Let's see. You did this. Yeah, they do suck. They totally. I can't believe it. My husband was like, what do you know about these Island Boys? I was like, what do you know about them? What? But unfortunately, I have watched all kind of stuff. They're totally industry plants. Whatever. Wish I could be an industry plant without the Illuminati, but not gonna happen.
I know, I do too.
Oh my god.
Dave Chappelle's like the king of comedy.
True helper, thank you for that. Like, I had no idea. I'm over here laughing. I'm kikiing and caca, and I ain't got a damn clue what's going on. I'm like, you're so funny.
Boso, he's funny.
You're so funny.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
What's going on?
I'm gonna hop off here. Go to bed.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us, man. Yeah, I'm probably gonna
sure. I totally
lay out
enjoyed it.
Several hours. I don't actually sleep, but I'm gonna pretend to sleep. But I can't. This is officially the longest live I've ever done, ever. Like ever.
Shit.
I know. And I didn't even have to private it. The last late night stream I had to private it. So it was a total win because I broke my own rule, and I late at night can't be a certain. Listen, people come on here and they're like, oh, we're drinking wine and we're doing this and we're doing that. I'm like, I'm gonna smoke my cigarettes off camera. That's what I'm doing over here.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming up, Steph. Well,
Sure.
everybody is like thanking you, receiving so much love. Please, if you haven't checked out Casey, she's got a great channel. Absolutely. And Libby does too. Casey Hudson and Libby's life lessons. I think it's like fuck you mean, but it's FYM. I think exactly what it means. Yeah. Libby's
Casey
lessons.
Hudson. And who's the
Casey
other one?
Hudson and Libby Lessons FYM.
Libby Lessons.
FYM.
FYM.
Yeah, I think it stands for fuck you mean. But I could be totally wrong.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that's what it stands for. But yeah, and Casey, I definitely, if you shoot me an email, I got to get you Olivia Fowler's aunt's email. It totally left my brain. I was saying that to Casey, but yes. Thank you so much for coming up, Steph. No,
yeah, thanks for having me. You guys have a good night.
You too, honey.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, wasn't that great? Unexpected guests, unexpected news. Well, it's not really like news, but you know, it's news to y'all. I've been new. I'm kidding. Anyways, I have enjoyed this. Thank y'all so much for coming out, and this has been great. No, you're fine, True Helper. It's fine. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see y'all soon. I cannot believe literally I should have just rounded out the next 6 minutes to its official 4 hours, but I think we're good. This has been great. I will see y'all again soon. I'm going to be posting. In fact, I'm probably going to tonight post a re-upload to the second channel. I don't know if y'all have this second channel. When I do post a video, I'll put it in the community tab. But it's called Dumb Hit Behind a Computer, but it has little to no subscribers yet. I think I'm at like 30. So I'm not in the algorithm. Like you can even type it in. It will not show up. But yeah. Yes, I think it was a great live too. Thank you everybody that came out, and I will talk to y'all soon. Be kind to yourself, and I love you big.